turquoise or something. Is that something that customers are gravitated to?
Yeah, right now that one, it's that type of color is very popular. And also, given that it has a like high polish band,
Yeah.
it kind of goes well with the wrist. It does really well. It shows up really well.
Yeah, you get that high polish on that 5-link bracelet, which
Yeah.
is a bracelet everybody loves.
Yeah.
We didn't have this bracelet for a number of years. You wouldn't imagine how many emails I got and instant messages. Can you bring back the diver bracelet? Can you bring it back? And actually, if you look at it, the links, the outer links right here, they look like the same shape as the case for the Lupa, that rounded rectangular design. Then you have like skinnier Lupa links for links 2 and 4. And the widest one then is that center link, link 3. So you can see it's all that design, very fluid on the wrist. It's flat on the back, but if you look at it from the side, you can see how it actually rises up. Just the same design as the case here.
Yeah, for me, that's an easy seller. Once you take it the case, you try it on to the customer. That's it.
Yeah, it's not a hard decision.
That's it.
Yeah, the watch pretty much sells itself. So with this design actually came up back in 2022, and we have that upgraded clasp also. So if you want to take that watch on and off your wrist, it's really easy. You press these 2 buttons. You don't have to use your fingernails. Butterfly is right open for you, and we even have that decorated finish on the inside here. Now, what you'll find, and you can correct me, Eric, because I know you've seen, I mean, a lot of the watches. Actually, it's fun for me to go into the stores because I'll see models in there that I've never seen before. Because, there are different watches that go to different places, like on the ships or on TV and stuff. And then like on the stores, I'm always like mesmerized and like just looking like, what haven't I seen before?
And that's the beauty of Invicta. We have so many different models that, you get a little different world depending where you're shopping.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. And, like when we were at the store in San Juan, there were watches there too. And I'll tell you, when the crews, like, they flocked there and they were cleaning out that store there. It was a brand new store, so it was really fun and exciting for you guys. What we have here, though, too, is this exhibition case back. And so what we have, the movement is actually a Swiss movement, and it's the Ronda Z60. And the thing is, with quartz movements, you usually don't have an exhibition window on the back. And we will with the mechanical, like the Quadro that you were just one of your picks here coming up. But it's because we have this yellow plate that's that Invicta yellow, and this was a movement that we actually created with Ronda based on some of the customers' favorite complications inside of a watch, the date of the month, the day of the week, and a chronograph up to 30 minutes. And so we actually had this yellow plate be a part of that design. And so we like to show that off. Now, most of the watches will be the mechanicals or automatics that actually have that exhibition window, but we have that on this watch also. Let me just put it on my wrist for 1 second. You can see what this looks like. I mean, I love that fit and feel right there.
Yeah, it really hugs the wrist really well.
Yes, I mean, for that bracelet, if you look at the bracelet, it's called breaking the bracelet. You're not ruining it, but you can basically see how that bracelet just folds over upon itself. There's enough gap right there.
Yeah.
And what that'll do, I mean, look, it even fits around my finger. So if it fits around my finger like this, it's just gonna, fit around the wrist just with absolute precision. So yeah, $199.99. This is this is model number 43401. And I didn't turn the ringer off on my phone. Where did that go? Hold on. Oh, it's my sister. I'll have to call her later. And I will turn that on silent. Okay. Do you know what that ringtone is from? I don't know if you watch. It's from a TV show.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. It's a show with Kiefer Sutherland. It was did you ever watch 24?
Oh, actually, yeah.
That's the CTU ringtone. So when they were in the office, that kind of underground, the CTU, that was on all their phones. That was their yeah,
I watched that series a while back. It was really good.
It's addicting.
It is addicting. It is addicting.
Actually,
and he came up with another one after. I don't know.
The Rabbit Hole? There's one now he's in called Rabbit Hole. It's like on Prime or something like that. Yeah. But there's another one?
Yeah, there's another one similar to 24 Hours that it had the same type of suspense.
Okay.
I just don't remember now how it was called. But
there was I had heard that with 24, it was so popular that they there was, I think, a movie theater out in LA, and they played all 6 seasons all in a row, and they just played it for like 6 days straight. Like you could go and then you could go leave and come back or something like that, and just try to watch everything that went along with it. And so,
Wow.
but yeah, great show, great show. All right, well, we're going to move on here with everything. So, final call right here for this, but you can always go back and shop too or you can load it in your cart and check out after. This is the model number is 43401 for $199.90. So I'm going to put this watch back. Eric, let's just go to what you have. So I'm going to go with those two colors, and I'll tell Greg, this is going to be 45-1 and 45-2, or Renee, number 45-1 and 45-2 will be coming up. It's towards the end. So let me just get to this myself real quick.
Yeah, who's going to get this baby here?
Yeah. So I think we do have some quantity in each. So let me just add in this real quick. Okay, here we go. Oops. Control A. Oops. What happened here? This is model number. We have 44003. So 44. Sorry about that. 003. Okay. Okay, so we're going to get into the Quadro, and the it's 45-1 and 45-2 towards the end, the gray and the green. We'll get to it in just a moment here. So, do you need the model number, Renee? 44003. 44003. All right, well, let's start out with this. So, the Quadro's collection has been around for a while, but you were saying that it's a rarity. That just they haven't been around all that much. Do you have the green one over there still? Okay. So they just really haven't been around too often. I mean, there was a number of years ago, I think maybe when you first started, we had a few more, and they were on this really cool 13-link bracelet. But we still have that same recognizable square case design that we're talking about that 45 millimeters overall, but we've changed it out and actually taken that case design and put it on a strap with these vibrant colors, like the green that you have and the orange version that I have.
And actually, a story I used to, back in, I believe 2015, 2016, we did have that one with,
the bracelet.
Yeah, the bracelet.
Yeah.
And oh my God, like the first one that I actually sold, I took 45 minutes to see.
Yeah.
It's such a like that engineering is so nice.
Yeah.
That.
So was it because I have one? I haven't sized it yet. I got it like a year ago, but I just haven't. I have a number of watches that I've got that I just haven't sized. But is it the links? Do they kind of all fold together and then they fall out? Okay.
Yeah. So me, I've been with it. I was with Invicta already for 2 years, but the Invicta has so many models that type of band. I'm like, what? It should be easy. It took me 45 minutes.
Now, was the customer there waiting for you while you're doing it? You're like sweating even that much more?
Like, hey, give them some water. Like, keep them entertained.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in the end, he loved it. And, in Miami, they love gold tone. So
it was a gold tone version. Gold tone version. Nice. Well, I know who to take out to lunch if I want to get mine sized. I'll take you out to lunch. You can size it for me. But all right, well let's talk about this watch for a little bit, because we have the orange, and then we also have the green color, and the green color is going to be. Let me just double check here the model number that goes along with that. The green is going to be model 44006, and I'll take that one up here. We'll just show these two colors. I mean, fun and vibrant. And that's something about Invicta too. It's like, Eric, we're talking about all the different designs that the company has every single year that we come out with. And then we're known for bigger watches, but we have some smaller watches in the show. But I'm sure, as you know, there's just a lot of color that's also part of Invicta for a lot of the different timepieces, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I mean, here we get the green, or the green right here is going to be model 44006. Or the orange is going to be 4003. You can see that off to the side. Or I think they're both popped up right now. So that looks pretty cool. And what we have then for the movement on the inside for the timepiece, now Eric was mentioning before, it's just it's a mechanical movement. And so the caliber is the P2650. What we're talking about with that mechanical movement is all you need to do is you just wind up the watch, you just wind up the crown, and they'll actually deliver power to it. There's not a battery on the inside. Mm-hmm. It's all good, and it'll run for about 36 to 38 hours with a full wind. And it's not an automatic, so you can't keep it on the wrist and it'll always be winding because there's not a what we call that rotor on the back. But we're talking about really the purest form of watchmaking right here with that mechanical movement. In your collection, do you have more quartz movements or more mechanical automatics, or kind of a mix of both?
I have a mix of both, but I have a unique taste, for just the mechanical ones.
Yeah.
I actually have a Russian diver,
Mm-hmm.
Mechanical, that it's all see-through. It's a beauty.
Oh, very cool.
It's a beauty.
Is that one from a while ago?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to check that out then.
Yeah, I have about, I would say, probably around 50 watches.
Yeah.
I try to pick my watches carefully now.
Yeah.
But definitely the mechanical movements,
Mm-hmm.
are one to always keep.
Yeah. Okay. Well, very good. Yeah, that's the whole thing, and you never have to change them out for a battery. So
exactly.
If we're looking at this, the price, I didn't even talk about the price on these, $169.90. I think that's a huge score for something like this with that thick silicone band. You're getting that's totally custom. I mean, that's what I love too, is when you look at Invicta watches, when we're looking at bands or bracelets like this, mm-hmm. they're so perfectly engineered. I mean, check this out. There's no gap or anything in between. There's no leeway. Everything fits like an absolute glove.
And also what I like is, I mean, as long as you take care of them, mm-hmm. they're gonna last forever. I have watches from 10 years ago that, I mean, I don't wear them every day, but I wear them enough, and they're new. Mm-hmm. They're pretty, they conserve very well.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially on that silicone band.
Mm-hmm. And, we'll talk about something too that's important. We'll get into that, the dive case here. You want to store your watches correctly too, and we'll get more into that. And then it just helps prolong them. You won't bump into each other and scratch up and everything. And I think it's like an investment. You want to take care of something. You get a car, you want the car to look nice, and you wash it on occasion. You don't want to bang it up against other cars and everything else. And a lot of people take pride.
And it's also a nice way to organize your collection, because you might have, let's say, that 25 slot, and you might want to organize it by colors, by bands, by movements. The first row, it's all quartz or automatics.
Exactly.
It gives you a little bit more organization of your timepiece, especially as your collection grows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We on the cruise had some collectors. They're talking about 400, 500, 600 watches that they all have on the ship. And there was a collector. He was located in Florida. His name was Pete.
Yeah.
And he unfortunately passed away a year or two ago. But he would call in to the network I was working at, selling the watches, and he was over 3,000 Invicta watches.
Wow.
He was over 3,000, and I think he had like converted a bedroom or something in his garage to house all of his watches and such. And I think they were actually going all in like an estate or something. Did you ever meet him or hear about him?
No, I haven't.
No. Yeah.
No, but usually, when like in stores, we do get a lot of different collectors that have 200, 300, 500s. Like they have their own library of Invictas.
Yeah.
So they organize them. They, they either do a whole bedroom or, something nice so that they can organize all their collections. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on here because maybe we'll come back to this a little bit later. I think it's a great pick tonight. I love that you picked these. So 169.90 for either 44006 is going to be the green, or 44003 will be the orange. I'm just trying to put these all back in the correct order here. So
get them while they last.
Yeah, get them while they last. Let's see. Let's go to the next one. You know what? I want to do something just a little bit more conservative. So let's do this. Renee, we'll go to number 7. Do you need the model number, or just does number 7 work for you? It's 66933. Okay, so I'm just going to go right here.
We have a quick question on the chat.
Yeah.
Ryan, when is the excursion coming to JTV?
The excursion is coming to JTV, and it is coming this Friday, 10 p.m. So mark that on your calendars. Tell your friends. It's and we're super excited. So I have one right here, and I'll just show you really quick. But we're going to get into it just a little bit more later. Here's one of the models here for the Excursion, and there's so much to talk about this. This watch I actually brought with me on the ship, and all the collectors were drooling all over it. They were like, and the thing is, I raffled this watch off. And so it was available to those in the ship if they sent me an email, and also people who tuned in the podcast before. And Kimon, he won it. So I have to mail it out to him probably tomorrow. Okay. So he won this exact watch. He's going to get it. But the crazy thing is, these were astute collectors with hundreds of watches. I said, do you know what movement's on the inside of this? And they kept on guessing and guessing and guessing, and they couldn't know. And so this is the tease right now. I'm going to put the watch back, and I'll tell you what that movement actually is.
I don't even know what that
just movement a little bit. When I tell you, it's gonna blow your mind.
No, it looks super nice.
It's going to blow your mind, because you're gonna be like, what? Wait, how is that even possible? All right, well, we're going to go to the next watch here. And so this is a Speedway, and this is just a classic design. And I wanted to just have this to be a part of it. Oh, shoot. You know what? Is the plastic still on this? I think the plastic. No, that's it right there. Still on. Plastic is still on, so I might need to get a little polishing cloth if we have one. But let's just go along with this. Speedway. This is one of the more affordable watches during the course of the show. Thanks, Renee. Appreciate it. Renee's helping us behind the scenes, and also Greg and Jaime. Thank you guys so much for all that. And all right, let's look at this watch. This is a classic timepiece, and we've had the Speedway design, and this is really like that first design. Almost 20 years ago, I think, at least, that we came out with the Speedway collection. And Speedways of today, it has evolved so much into one of the most dynamic overall collections that we have at the company. This watch hovers right at that 40 millimeters for the case diameter. The model is 6933 for $89.90. 200 meters of water resistance. So with this watch, you're going to get, it's a professional dive instrument. The tachymeter units per hour is on that fixed bezel, so you can measure speed over a certain unit of distance. The inside for the movement, it's going to be from Time Module Inc., and the particular caliber for that is going to be the VD53. So you get a 24-hour scale, the 3 o'clock sundial, seconds and minutes for the chronograph. But I love this rose gold that we plated for the center link and for the bezel on a function pusher. This, to me, just looks like a very classic design.
I know, and I really love the Speedway collection, especially on the rose gold. I'm a rose gold fan myself.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah. I have the 42 millimeter Pro diamond with the rose gold.
Yeah.
It's a nice combination, you know, that you can wear. And with that case size and design, it's beautifully, you know, it's kind of like a unisex watch. You know, you can have men and women wear it. I see it all the times, all the times in the store.
That's what I was just going to ask you. Like, what was your take? Is this, you know, for both the men and the women? Absolutely, you say.
Both men and women's. So yeah, usually we have it highlighted in, you know, both places, because watches is about style.
Yeah.
You know, so definitely, you know, you might have a woman that loves, you know, that 39 millimeter, you know, kind of a bigger.
Yeah.
Or you may have a more traditional man that, you know, he likes that 39.
Yeah.
You know, as well. Or ones that in his collection.
Yeah, and that's just the beauty of it. Now check this out. This is pretty cool. It's a multicolored case back of this watch, which matches up with the bracelet here.
Yep.
So, which I don't know if I've seen it really before. It almost looks like a penny on the back. That penny you'll see Invicta, and also that the color there with that 18 karat rose gold for the model. This is what, 60, what did I say? It was $89.90 to get into this timepiece here tonight. Yeah. $89.90 to get in that Speedway, 200 meters of water resistance. Just an absolute beauty of a timepiece here. For the men and the women, I am totally on board with Eric in terms of that. They'll be able to just see I mean, here's on my wrist. I'll just throw it on my wrist real quick here and just show the camera. I have a lot of 40 millimeters in pro divers. I have one Speedway also.
Yeah, even on your wrist, look how beautiful it looks.
Yeah. It's the most masculine wrist you've ever seen before.
No, but
I mean, look at your wrist compared to mine. I mean, it's just like,
No, but it looks nice.
It looks really good. Yeah.
It looks really good. You know, it's a stylish watch.
It's classic.
It's classic.
I mean, it's just classic. It looks great overall. So, yeah, you're getting into this for $89.90 for this timepiece here. Just absolutely classic. If you're just looking for, something to, something that you can go from the office and to the beach in all in one timepiece, or maybe that's that first watch you want to gift to somebody out there who likes that sophistication and style. I believe this watch really conveys with that classic style here.
Yeah, I have actually gifted a few of the Speedways, one to my wife's sister, and actually my grandmother has one as well.
Oh, she does?
Like that. Yeah.
Oh, see, okay, so yeah, so you can go, younger and older, in the sense of that with this watch also. Yeah, I don't think by any means that this watch is oversized by, any means for anyone out there. Everybody can wear this watch.
Everybody can wear it.
All right. Well, let's continue moving on. I want to go to so we're talking about something just a little bit smaller here for this Speedway. We're going to move on to number 8, which is model 8941, Renee. And let me just move this over here. This whole system now every show is getting a little bit better here with, here we go. So we're going to go to 8941. And I actually have a couple little stories about this. So we're talking about that Pro Diver Design Classic 8941.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, this one right here. Yeah. And why is that? Tell me that right out of the gate.
Usually in the stores, a lot of the women's are a little bit bigger. So here and there, we do get a lot of women that want, can I get that very little watch?
Yeah.
So I always feel proud to have this type of watch, because there is that traditional or super traditional women that really love that small timepiece, and we're able to offer that to her.
Right. And I mean, this is built off the design that really I call the heartbeat of Invicta, the classic Pro Diver. You have on a Pro Diver, I have on a Pro Diver here. This is actually down to about 24 millimeters. So it's just under an inch in the overall case diameter, but you still have that same design, as you can see, maybe as the watch I have here. It's still the same look. There's a 3-link bracelet that's a part of it. 100 meters of water resistance, so you can take this watch in the water if you choose to do so. And here's the price on this watch: $69.90. $69.90 to be able to get into classic Pro Diver. Now, when I first started with Invicta, my kids, so it was 2011 when I started with Invicta, so my kids were 11 and 8, 10 and 8, and actually I got them these little mini Pro Divers, and then also my mom, because back then I wanted my kids to be a part of this really big deal that was going on with being part of this company. And so I bought them that, and I bought my mom too. So like you were saying, ages of all different ages out there.
Yep.
And some people have asked me too, are you guys going to do any watches for kids? And I know we did a long, long time ago, I think before your time and almost before I started full time. And something like this, I think, could easily be worn by the kids too. And you can always, keep your links then in a little plastic bag, and then once they get a little bit bigger, keep on adding to the bracelet size as they grow. Kids grow like
definitely.
Weeds are so fat.
That's also a good fit, for a child's first watch.
Yeah, I think that would be great. Yeah, and it's fun too, because some of these collectors, their kids actually have amassed these collections of watches also. Yeah, for $69.90, could be for the kids. It could be for, older out there, younger, whatever it happens to be, just like we were talking about with that Speedway out there. So again, here's the thing is, we don't always expect with Invicta, it would be ridiculous if we would, have that expectation that you would fall in love with every single watch. That's why we have a variety out there, because there's some things you prefer, other things you might not, but you're always going to see something like during the course of a podcast or when I'm on TV, or you browse Invicta Store's website, you're going to find a lot of different options. You'll be like, hey, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's what I love about the brand. You can, from different generations, there's always a watch that is going to be a good fit for you.
Yeah, so. Absolutely.
Let's go to move diamonds watch.
You want to move diamonds? Yeah, let's do that. We'll do that. We'll bump up. Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on here. So I'm going to take this watch away. And this one is number 8. I'm just going to put it back to where it was. And yeah, because let's get into some diamonds. I was thinking about that myself. And I'd love to hear yours. We'll do number 4 for the diamonds. This is a hot watch. So I'll just set it down right here.
Is that a limited edition, Ryan?
This one should be that limited edition green label.
Ooh.
And so this one's going to be 34707. So 1 second. Okay. Yep. All right. So what we're going to do here is we're going to kick this off. And so this is the Subaqua Noma 2. And, some of you, I know, really want to get into some of the diamond timepieces out there. So here's what we're doing. For $23.99.90, you're getting into a numbered limited edition, up to 500 of these watches ever made. And what makes this watch so unique, first of all, is, the number of diamonds. You know how many diamonds are on this watch?
How many?
You don't speed on the exact number. 991 diamonds. Wow. 991 diamonds.
Wow.
Now tell me this: would you just get bored, like just counting to 991, let alone setting 991 diamonds on this watch? Right? And we have diamonds on the bezel. We have diamonds going around for the entire dial of this timepiece. And then check this out. Sides, diamonds all along the sides. Diamonds all along the sides here. It's what you get. All with the Subaqua Noma 2.
And that's what I really love about, that watch. It's diamonds on a sub 2.
Yes.
Which is a great highlight of the Subaqua collection.
I agree. And here's the thing too. Look, this is number 60 of 500. The movement is a Sellita SW 200. If you look right here, this is a very elusive series of watches. It's called Green Label. We have only done, I don't even think you count on 2 hands, the number of different models we've done in that Green Label series. And tell me this, Eric. Well, I know for a fact when we kicked off the cruise last week, we actually came up to one of the stores and you were there too, with the collectors as kind of like a kickoff before the cruise and everything. And you guys have a lot of diamond watches in there. I was checking it out. I know one of them picked up on that big Speedway with all the different diamonds around.
That is a top seller.
Yeah, is it really?
Yeah, that's a top seller.
So what do customers say? Because you get to interact with them a little bit more than I do, or a lot more than I do. What do they think about diamonds when it comes to a watch?
Diamonds, especially in the stores, are very popular. They love, especially on that Speedway, they love that high polish bands, with all the kind of see-through dial and all diamonds on the part of the bezel.
Yeah.
It makes the watch really nice, and also the design. That design of that Speedway is really cool. But they love diamonds. They love diamonds, especially on those top collections like Speedways, Bolts, those new S1s, squared.
Sure.
But they love them.
Okay. Yeah. Well, look at this right here. We're talking about, this is a grail timepiece. Yeah. With all the different diamonds, you have that unique, like that emerald green plating.
It's like the original sub 2.
Yes.
Full of diamonds.
Original
and limited to 500 pieces.
Limited to 500.
That's number 60.
Number 6. Yeah, number 60. And this is, you have the 26 jeweled Sellita SW 200. That's a high-end twist-made mechanical automatic 3-hand movement. And along with that, the total carat weight is 4.16 carats of diamonds. And
that's usually the first thing they ask. How many carats do they have?
So do people ask that? They ask more carats than the number of diamonds?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So if you say 4 carats,
that's
What would somebody like? What has somebody said? Like if you're saying.
So I really love that watch. How many carats does it have?
Okay, so if you're asking me, and then you, so then I'll say, yeah, it's over 4 carats. What would they be like? What? They're surprised.
Yes.
And amazed.
Yes, especially the price.
Yeah, especially the price. Well, for what you're getting here, this is done by another watch company, almost 1,000 diamonds or 4 carats worth. We'd be paying multiple times over. And
And I have a diamond watch myself.
Mhm.
It's a Chaos Swiss automatic,
Nice.
which I love. Two-tone.
It's
also a Swiss automatic.
Is it silver with the gold bezel?
Yeah,
I have that too.
Yeah, that's my holy grail piece.
Yeah.
With the Solida SW200, I love that watch.
See, and here's the thing: is like when Eric was just talking about that, he just lit up. I mean, you can light up too, right here, just like having something like this, and knowing too that, I mean, we cut it off. I don't even know if we made all these yet, and that's something, I mean, special. Cap it off at 500. It's only you and 499 other people that ever get the opportunity to own this timepiece out there. Looking at the case back, and this watch is 300 meters of water resistance. Actually have the 6 different screws that go all the way around here too. So, I mean, just to extend that case, the extended case back, that's a part of it. So high-end Swiss made, mechanical, automatic, number 60. And so there's other ones on the website. So you might get this one, you'll probably not get. There'll be a few others out there that are available that go along with it. But
Scott Z says, make more green labels.
Make more. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, that's the thing. It's like we want to hear from everyone. We want to hear about the green. What do you want? What do you want to hear from us? Because we love hearing your ideas and such. So 200 meters of water, 300 meters of water resistance. You just get the upgraded flame fusion crystal, and part of the Subaqua collection, which we're going to be talking about a little bit later on. I'll do a little tease here in this shot because we're going to just show you a little bit more about that Subaqua Noma 8.
Look at that beauty.
Yep, there we go. We'll be talking about that in between some cells here a little bit later on. And so, I'm just looking too. I was maybe we'll do a limited edition watch next. You want to do that to a number 1?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys ever get number 1s in the store, or is it very rare?
Very rare. Usually, usually we may get them for an event. Maybe a collector's event or a grand opening. I mean, we have a collector's event company-wide every month, so we get to interact, meet collectors, and spend time with them and have fun. But rarely. We have number 1s, but we've had number 1s before. Especially we'd had for the first JM event, we had a few of his number 1s.
Oh, you did? Okay, very cool, very cool. Yeah. All right, well, let's continue to move on here, and we'll pull out a number 1 and check that out. Let me just find. You know what? I have one right here actually, so I'll do that next. So this is number 5. We're gonna go to. Let me see. We're going to go to number 5 here next. So it's going to be a Shaq timepiece.
Ooh.
Yeah. So we're going to move on.
Red size.
So, yeah, here we go. Yeah, this is a beauty.
Yeah, that's a beauty.
Yeah. Oh, this is, that. Oh, the thermal glow. This is so cool. So this is, I mean, I haven't presented one of these watches in quite a while. So this is going to be the actual number 1. The price on this for this number 1 is going to be $1,559.90. And the model number is 37597. So 3737597. And for this specific one, if you want this exact watch, you have to click on that link, because if Invicta Stores has another one of these, you don't want to type in that model number, it might pop up too. But the number 1s are their own out there. Now this is that thermal glow. This is a number 1. Shaq signature is a part of the back. And I got a question for you too. And let me just find. It's a little hard to read the number 1. It's edition right here. I just wanted to find it for sure. It's going to be right at the top here, right underneath Shaq. It's going to be a limited edition, and you'll see this is number 1, right there. Number 1, got to work it right. Number 1 out of 2,000. So you get this exact watch right here, the thermal glow for that model number 37597. Now here's the thing: the thermal glow. What is so cool, like right here on the case back for the logo. That actually glows in the dark. Did you know that? Right here, the little T right back there with that diamond. And then it's this tubing that goes along the side with these luminescent stones that we developed. I believe it took like 9 months or 18 months to create and perfect. So in the dark, this stuff actually lights up, these little stones around the side of the case. And I think it makes its way around the other side too and underneath. So you're going to have that glowing feature that goes along. Then the bezel has this nylon cord that has been wrapped in to the bezel for this timepiece. And talking about the Ronda 5050C, that's the movement on the inside. And Shaq likes diamonds. And so we have 42 diamonds that are a part of this watch, which really go around the hour markers. I mean, what's your take on this, Eric, with the burgundy, the number 1, the cable, the technology for the glow in the dark, and partnering with Shaq?
Yeah, it's definitely a beautiful timepiece, and given that it's a Shaq, it's very unique.
Yeah.
And going back to the Shaq days, we had so much fun in the stores when we did his events.
Yeah.
There was so much customers, that came in to see him.
Yeah.
It was just insane how loyal they are to him.
Well,
and he's a nice person. He always he always represented well, like all of the events, and even bought watches for his staff. So but definitely Shaq. They were one of my very, very good events in the stores.
Yeah, and I think probably a highlight of, like, with your career with Invicta too, one of your big highlights, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I have a question. So when we were at the Sawgrass Mall, that so Shaq signed the back wall there where it says Invicta.
Yeah, he signed the back wall in Sawgrass. He signed the back wall also in premium, Lambo premium.
Okay.
In other stores that he did events.
So I have a question. So the one I've seen Sawgrass, and that's just like probably about 25 minutes here from the corporate office.
About that.
I'm trying to still get used to Florida time. So
yeah,
how long it takes to get from back?
Yeah, about 25 minutes.
Okay. So he has his name up there. It says Shaquille O'Neal was here with an arrow. So is the bottom of that arrow, was that the height of his head?
Yeah.
Was it? That's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
So everybody can look at that and see how tall he actually is.
No, and Shaq was one of my favorite players, NBA players growing up. I'm a big NBA fan, like a huge NBA fan.
Okay.
So
we'll have to go to a Heat game sometime. I'd love to do that with you.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's actually basketball it's my favorite sport.
Did you play growing up or just pick up? Or?
Yeah, it's just pick up.
Yeah.
Not in, I mean, my talents were never, that good, but I'm a student of the game. I love the game.
Fair enough, yeah.
But definitely Shaq. It's a good.
That was a pretty cool thing to see.
Yeah, so definitely, when it comes to Invicta, that's been one of my highlights. Getting to meet him.
How tall are you?
You get mesmerized, like you're watching.
Yeah.
You get frozen.
It is. So how tall are you?
I'm 5'10".
5'10". Okay, I'm just under 6 feet. He's like what, 7'2"?
7'1", 350 pounds at least. So he's.
And the thing is, like, the thing with him too, he's a little bit. I don't know. Maybe it's a blessing and a curse, like just to be so big and everything like that. But then the guy can't hide. He can't go out in public.
Can't hide, yeah.
I saw a little YouTube short. Like he was like up in Toronto or something. It was in Canada, and there was a video. How long can Shaq be like incognito until somebody recognizes it? It was at dark. He had on a sweatshirt or a hoodie, and he had a hoodie, and they had the timer going, and he just started walking. First guy that walked by, the guy's like, "Hey, Shaq!" Like he can't hide from anybody. I mean, he's so recognizable, and the thing is, everybody loves him, and he's
he definitely has a great personality. Yeah, for how famous he is, because he's really, really famous. He can bond, with a regular average person.
Yeah, and he's so relatable.
He's so relatable.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, you guys, this is a sweet timepiece, as we mentioned before. For the price, you're getting into it for $1,559. Swiss-made movements on the inside of that Ronda 5050C. The diamonds are going around every single hour marker, totaling out at 42 different diamonds. As you can see, Shaq's a big diamond guy, and so whenever we did timepieces, almost all of them, I think there are just a few exceptions, didn't have diamonds on the inside. But when you're getting along with the timepiece, also 200 meters of water resistance, you're looking at about 370 grams which is going to be about 10, 11, 12 ounces or so. It's going to be on your wrist. So it's a bigger timepiece, and the size is about 55 millimeters. So remember, it's a number one. You know, when people buy from me off TV, that they never knew that they were getting number one or number whatever. Here's something special. I mean, if you don't have a number one to your collection, you can be guaranteed this is the exact watch that you'll be getting. Yeah. You get a certificate of authenticity that's a part of it. And I believe we're still, I can't guarantee, but I think we're still sending them in that briefcase, aluminum briefcase with AL signature on it. I think that's still a part of the deal if you get one of the number ones. So if you had a number one, would you wear it? Or would you just be like, would it be like your pride and joy, like another one of your Grail timepieces?
No, I'll definitely wear it.
Yeah.
You know, it's not every day, but definitely, you know, I'll definitely wear it. I don't cage my watches too much.
Yeah. Well, could you imagine like with this watch though? It would, like somebody would notice the watch. I mean, it's a bigger timepiece, 55 millimeters in your wrist. Somebody comes up and says, "Hey, what is that on your wrist?" Be like, "Oh, it's an Invicta watch, and Shaq actually worked on designing it." And they're like, "Really?" Yeah, and there are 2,000 of this exact model made, and I have the first one. What a cool story, right?
Oh, and we have a good question on the chat.
Yeah.
Scott C says, "Does he have more watches coming out?" And
we're not, and so that makes this even that much more important, because when we went to the one room and we took out some of the timepieces here. To be able to give you guys watching the show, the podcast here, that opportunity to be able to get into something. So, yep. So the only partnerships we have right now is the James Carrera and also with the NFL. So those are two partnerships that we have currently going. So Shaq's not coming back. So this is, I think that makes this opportunity even that much more.
Exactly.
You know, special to be able to get in. I mean, to still even to get a Shaq watch, but then even further to get that number one out of 2,000.
Yeah, imagine you know, a few years from now having a Shaq watch.
Yeah, exactly. Have you ever? We'll move on here, but have you ever seen Shaq just? Because I think he became a full-fledged officer down here, like in Miami, didn't he?
Oh yeah.
You ever seen him like outside of like Invicta or just at random once or no?
No.
Never pulled you over.
He did get the keys to the city at some point, but
well, probably. I would. That wouldn't surprise me.
I haven't been at. Other than Invicta, I hadn't had the luck of seeing.
I had the opportunity to be with him a couple different times, and he was always just top notch. Actually, a cool story for you watching. So I don't know if it says on here, but so when we were selling the watches on television, that he was guessing in a sense with Daniel Green, and I was just right off to the side, and he was looking because we have the towers that go off to the side, like what you have here, and it said like whatever 0.43 DEW, and he cut his mic or he covered it. He came over and he's like, "Oh man, what does that DEW stand for?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's a diamond equivalent weight." So it's like, you know, whatever kind of like percentage of a carat it is. And he's like, "All right, thanks." Like, but like he wanted to know, he wanted to learn and everything. Like he's like, you know, just a simple thing. But like this guy is just like so amazing.
Yeah.
And he wants to know everything. He's so relatable. He's super cool. He's super recognizable, super humble. And like you were saying, he was buying, you know, watches for his staff. I mean, he just, even a show, someone would call in on the show and he would buy a watch for them.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, just like, such a great guy. Okay, we're going to move on here to another timepiece. So we're going to wrap this up. If you guys want to get this number one, $1,559.90 to get the first one, 2,000 with this 55 millimeter thermal glow from Shaquille O'Neal and also Invicta. That is an absolute beauty. Okay, well, we're coming up to the top of the first hour. You doing all right?
Yeah.
You're doing excellent, by the way. You've like a natural. Like, are you at home, like just like talking in front of cameras all the time and everything? I mean, it's actually, this is really easy and it's fun.
Yeah, no, it is. It is actually. I'm really enjoying it. On the first podcast that you did, you know, I was actually thinking to myself, could I be on the show at least, you know, one time?
Yeah.
Good.
Well,
it happened. So
it happened.
I kind of manifested it.
Yeah. Well, there we go. There we go. Well, you've been great so far. It's fun because Eric's, if you're just tuning in, Eric's part of Invicta Stores, and he's been with Invicta now for coming up on a decade. And so he's really sort of managing and overseeing just really all the operations for the different brick and mortar stores, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, just tell us a little bit. I'm going to figure out the next watch and tell everybody what what your responsibilities are.
Yeah, so I've been with Invicta for about 10 years. Started as a store manager, but now pretty much I get to manage a lot of the operations within the brick and mortar stores, and it's fun. It's fun managing not only the stores but the people, and seeing how we can grow that collectors base, those customers. So definitely it's been a very fun ride, and I've enjoyed it a lot.
All right. Well, thank you. And I truly appreciate, you being here and everything, and just being a part of everything. What I like to do is I want to go on to something here that's, I'm going to take this plastic off. We're going to go to 10.1, which is going to be the 46155, and there'll be a couple other colors that go along with that. Yeah. And so let me just take this 46155, 46155. Okay, so actually I own one of these, not this color, but one of the other colors we'll show here in just a minute. Now, we're talking about the Subaqua collection. We had that Subaqua a little bit earlier with all the diamonds in that green one. It's probably still available if you want to. That was model 34707. I think it was $23.99 for 991 carats of diamonds. This watch is that same design. And let me take off just a little bit more. Every now, I mean, we're pulling these out from the warehouse here. But what you're getting into is that Subaqua Noma 2 with a completely different bracelet that we modified on it, seamlessly integrated. And what we have is the ETA 2824 for the movement on the inside of the watch, which is a high-end Swiss-made 25 jewel 3-hand automatic. And so you're getting into just an absolute beauty of 47 millimeters for the case diameter, 300 meters of water resistance. And let me just show you this real quick. I'm going to unscrew the crown. And so with this movement, like you're familiar with the NH35A, it's probably what's in your watch right there.
Yep.
So fantastic movement. I love that movement. I have that movement more than anything else. Now, and what that movement does is when that movement is going, it moves at 6 different steps every single second. So it starts and stops 6 different times. What this watch does is it does 2 more every single second. The price on this watch is $349.90. And if you look at that sweeping second hand, it's starting to spin 8 different times every single second. And that sweeping motion, which I think just captivates a lot of people, it's even that much smoother, just that much more sleek and sophisticated. All part of the reserve collection that you're getting into for that sport style watch at 47 millimeters.
Yeah, and I love how Invicta just puts kind of a different bracelet on that Noma 2. It just defines how how much of that engineering variety they put into their timepieces. You can find that Noma 2 with diamonds that we just highlighted, but then another Noma 2 completely different. It's still part of the collection, but you're getting that average, that other type of person that might want something different in the same collection.
That's a great point, because here if we look at the side, we'll show this for a second. This is what Eric's talking about, and I think it's a fantastic point. Is if you look at the watches, it's the same case design, but what we've done is we've actually changed up the bezel of the watch, and there's more of that die bezel. This one's a little bit different, even on the edges. And then if you look at the bracelets are totally different. So this is a little bit of lines of that, like almost that Subaqua Noma 1 look and the 2. And then this is a 5-link looking bracelet that we have right there. So that's the beauty of Invicta, is that we change up a lot of different things. There are some watch companies out there, they've had their established brands for years, and and they do well, and that's fine. That's great. More power to everybody. And they might change, like I like to say, for example, like they might change the font on the inside of like just whatever words there are. It might make it a little bit larger or smaller, or just modify a little bit, and everybody gets super excited, you know, and that's just like for one little modification. And just to your point, is this, you know, we'll take a design and we'll do different colors, but then we'll do different modifications, you know, straps, bracelets, like you said, two different totally bracelets on that same case design. And of course, just methodically designed and engineered to fit absolutely seamlessly here on this watch. Now, here's the thing is this version, and again, we're looking at the price of, we're looking at the price on this for $349.90.
Wow.
I would say, I mean, if you're looking for a watch, and you want that everyday watch, that will be, you know, you're gonna like what we're wearing right now. You know, we're just you got a polo on, something like that. If you're gonna dress up a little bit, go out on date night, put on a jacket maybe. This watch I think would look good. If you're just gonna hang out at the pool or the beach for a little while too, this watch can definitely deliver in that occasion also, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think, you know, with, I believe that was a 47 millimeter.
Yep, 47 millimeters.
47 millimeters. So, you know, definitely it's similar to that Grand Diver. In terms of size, you know, but just maybe a little bit,
little thicker,
which maybe, you know, a different type of collector or different type of person would enjoy.
Exactly.
And now with that Pro Diver kind of look.
Yeah, has that especially with the bezel design. It's more that Pro Diver bezel that we've placed on the Subaqua Noma 2 and then changed up the bracelet. Here's the thing, is that we have this color version. We also have 3 other color versions. Let's go through those. Let's give you a variety of them. So this is model 46155. Then we have 46156. Which is going to be the blue, and then the red, which is referred to as the soda pop bezel.
Yep.
So a lot of people like that when it's an option out there. So that's a soda pop bezel. Then we have another version too, which is super hot. This is the green and the black. And again, all these prices are $349.90. This is model 46157. And then we have one more. I'll bring it off to the side here. Let me just move. So try to get all these in. Eric, can you pull your computer just back a little, just a titch for that camera to get in? And the last one, this is the one that I own. I haven't sized it yet.
Orange.
Well, it's someone said it was like a brown, but I think it's a bit of it's that burnt orange.
Yeah.
And this model number is 46159. Now here's the thing. If you were looking to get something tonight, you want to just get, you know, that absolute quality of something. Yep. I mean, hold one of these watches once. I mean, feel the weight of it.
Yeah.
Doesn't that feel fantastic?
Yeah, and that's what I look for in my watches, you know, that nice weight to it, you know, especially coming, you know, from the movement.
Yeah. The movement has some nice weight that goes along with it. We have that exhibition window on the case back for it. But if you're looking for that everyday timepiece, and maybe it's just that one timepiece, or, you know, if you're just looking, you want to put in that, you know, the $349.90, I would say put your money here tonight and get one of these different variations. Yeah. I actually want to size. I have to jump out of town early tomorrow and go visit a family member, but I'll probably get back. I'll size mine then over the weekend or something like that, and wear it, because now I'm excited to wear this. I should have sized it and had it, but you know, getting into that movement, that 2824 from Etta, 25 different jewels, that beautiful sweeping second hand. And then look at the hour markers are like shaped like elongated diamonds that are just pointing in towards the center.
Yeah, and I love that reserve. I can't stop looking at the reserve.
Yep.
And so it's kind of a different, kind of looks a different type of reserve.
With the logo?
Yeah.
Does it?
It looks a little bit.
You can see right there. That's a great shot there, high name. Yeah, that reserve logo, and it says reserve right underneath the name Invicta. With that means that you're just getting into the absolute finest, the top quality of everything that we make has that reserve badge on it. So we use the finest components out there. We have typically more sort of unique designs, which, we've done in this watch, in my opinion, we've had that Subaqua Noma 2, and we've added in a different bezel, different bracelet that has never been done before until this watch. And this movement is something that we at Invicta aren't going to be able to use moving forward, because the movement manufacturer, ETA, is actually taking this particular caliber of movement with the Value 7750 and using them in their parent company's high-end Swiss-made brands that go for thousands, tens of thousands more. Wow. So we're getting that special movement on the inside too. So that's kind of like, I was saying, it's like at the end of an era when it comes to that for this watch, and that particular movement's out there. So this is the one I have. If you want to get into this particular version, this model number here is up. It's 46159. We have them up on the side of the screen there. You can see that history. So all 4 are available. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I love all the different colors.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, is like we like to have a variety of colors out there, and just not steer you into one particular color. You get the option out there. I mean, 4 different colors here that are available. So yeah. All right. Well, we're going to move on, and we're over an hour into the first hour here. We're into an hour, so I think let's some questions in the chat. Okay, yeah. Well, let's look at the chat here. We'll check in with the chat. Then I'm going to talk about the debut that we have coming up here. So, what do we have for any questions there? I'll start putting these watches back. So this is going to be the blue. The blue is going to go in 10-1. Red is 10-2. This one, green 10-3, and then 10-4.
Yeah, we have a question from Rich. How does the designer decide to use a friction pin or pin and color like used on a Sand 2?
Yeah, I think it just comes down to what the design is. I don't know all the engineering that actually goes into that. Do you by chance? Or
no.
That one I'm actually a little bit stumped on. And there's I guess when it just comes to the bracelet, what they really want to do, have it be a little bit more of that complex design or everything, or something just a little bit more simplistic. So that's a great question. There's another one at all? Or, oh, Jaime, you have a question?
NBA players.
Who are our favorite NBA players?
My favorite NBA player is Steph Curry.
Is it?
Sorry, sir. Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I love how he really changed the game. Now every team has transitioned to that 3-point lane because of him.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he was. I saw a video where he was just dribbling. Just like in warm-ups, and he dribbled, and the ball didn't come up to him. There was like a dead spot on the floor, and so he took the ball and then he let the ball drop. It came right up to him, and he went on that dead spot. Just kind of came up half the way. They probably fixed it for them for the game out there. But yeah. I mean, he's amazing. I mean, I'm trying to think really who. I mean, you got the Michael Jordan, and you got the Kobe Bryant and Shaq and those guys. Yeah, Larry Bird too, though. I gotta say, that guy is amazing.
Yeah, from different generations, we can say that Larry Bird made a big impact.
Yeah,
Jordan, Bryant, LeBron too. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan, but yeah, he's made a big impact as well. But Curry, it's my
he's
I actually have a big poster in my room.
Oh, you do? Yeah. Did he sign it by chance, or
no?
No,
that's like my wow moments. If I get to meet him.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Stay frozen.
If what? If which is going to be on TV? Oh, am I going to be on TV? Oh, yeah. So yes, I have my next JTV show. Thanks, Renee. I have my next JTV show, and I'll keep on mentioning that here because I know people are tuning in and out and everything. Coming up this Friday, 10 p.m. As far as I know, Kenny's actually flying to me this time. I'm flying to Kendi in Knoxville, Tennessee. She's actually coming down here because we're going to be launching the Subaqua Noma 8, which has been in design and development for a couple of years, and it's ready. It's going to debut, and we're going to be doing the show here from the hub on Friday, 10 p.m. It's a 4-hour block, 10 p.m. Eastern until 2 a.m. Eastern here. It's going to be just an amazing show. And we're also launching the Excursion, which, let's do that. Should we do Excursion. Let's do the. Let's show the Excursion first because I was talking about this. So this is actually a watch that
Let's not waste any more time.
Not waste any more time.
Let's show them what they want to
So here's the deal: is I was out on a cruise this past week with a bunch of collectors, about 100 of them, the East Coast Collaborative, and I just want to, I'll give a little bit of love to those guys here, and it was Travis and Tamika and Deidre and Jason Garrett, Godfather, Victor was a part of it too, and I'm trying to think I think Alan, but he couldn't make it. And if I forgot somebody, I apologize just for those that put everything together for an amazing, 8-day cruise basically. And I brought this exact watch. This is one of the production models now. We had the other week, we had the prototype and we sold them. And so here's the thing. When I brought this watch, right when I boarded the ship, I showed this watch. I showed this watch to the collectors, and the question I asked, oh, this is a good shot. I don't even think I need to go to the microscope. I went to the collectors and I said, what movement is this? And I asked you, Eric, and do you know what movement this is on the inside? So right here, you have your seconds, which I'll wind up the watch here. You have your seconds right there. So I just started the movement going off that center canyon pinion. You have an AM PM indicator at the bottom of the dial. These are your minutes, and that's your hours. So if I pull out the crown, and then of course you have the date. If I pull out the crown, it's a hacking movement, so the seconds will stop. But if I advance the time for look at your minutes move, and look at the hours, and also your AM PM indicator. So we just went past noon right now. But if you look inside, look at those gears that are all moving, all those little gears. So what do you think the movement is? And it's, no pressure. Nobody got it right.
I don't know.
I'll give you a clue. We've talked about
the Ronda movement.
Nope. We've talked about the movement tonight already.
Ooh.
I'll give you a clue. The movement's in both of our watches right now that we're wearing on our wrists. NH35A.
What?
Exactly.
No way.
Exactly. This movement right here, let me show you. I'm going to take the watch off my wrist real quick. And let me set this watch down for a second. The watch that's on my wrist right now, right here, in my 47 millimeter Pro Diver Fade, Eric has 42.
42, yeah.
Eric has basically the same watch. This is an NH35A I have right here. It's a 3-hand movement, mechanical automatic, with a date window at the 3 o'clock position. Right here in the case back, there's a little rotor that's a part of it. The movement inside of here is the same exact movement that's going along right here. And you can see through the case back, right there. We've done this on some of the newer time module link where we have that yellow, it's part of it. The caliber is the NH35A. So how do we get from going from a 3-hand movement like this to something like that?
Yeah.
Well, what we did is we came out, and this is what all the collectors in the ship, they were just drooling over this. What we did is we put this module, we built a module to go on top of that movement with all those different gears to give you these different complications at those different areas. So the NH35A, it doesn't have an AM PM indicator, but this does down here because everything is completely geared up. So you have the center canyon pinion on the movement. That's where the hour, minute, and second hands are. But we took the hour hand off and the minute hand, but we have those gears. So if you see as I advance time, you'll see how that's actually moving for the hours and also for the minutes. And it's all geared up right down there to that AM PM indicator inside this watch. Now look at, we're coming up on 8, right there, 8 p.m. or that's a sunrise. So 9 a.m. which you'll find right there for that AM PM indicator. Right at noon, you'll see it's just right up that top portion. But you'll see the 3-dimensional build that goes along here for this watch. And this is all done with the Excursion.
Wow. And
so this is one of the watches that is launching coming up here on Friday on JTV. I'm going to be on the show. Kenny's going to be on it too. This is for this 50 millimeter iconic design, one of the first watches within the Reserve collection. And this is what you'll see on the website right now when you go to invictawatch.com. You can't get this watch anywhere right now. It is launching. You definitely want to tune in 10 o'clock right away on Friday night. This is a big sort of like a unveiling, because it's technically the same collection, but we're actually unleashing something that has never been done before.
I know, and I love that it's on the Excursion collection.
Yeah.
Another Invicta classic, which I don't see in the stores as much as before.
Yep, I don't either.
So definitely, it's it's a very rare timepiece. Given that it's an Excursion.
An Excursion, right? I mean, the Excursion is known for that extremely high polish that goes along. I mean, it's like a mirror polish with these center links that are these pyramids type links, and I've smudged it up a little bit, but I mean, this is an absolute beauty. You do not want to miss out on this coming up on
And I like the
Friday.
size. I think that's like a 50 millimeter.
50. You're exactly right.
Yeah, the Excursion has that mid, 50 millimeter. Very precise and nice.
Yeah. So this is going to be amazing. And we used to do this. I don't know if you're familiar. There was a company called Dupre.
Yep.
And so we used to put on Sleeta SW200s this module that would turn a three-hand movement like the NH35A into a chronograph. And so this is that same sort of theory, but this is just something that we designed and developed ourselves.
No, a fun fact, before a few years ago, when I was a store manager, we used to actually do the orders for the stores, the store managers. Oh. And actually I did a few orders when, with that type of movement. They used to come in the Bolt Sus collection.
I have one. Yep, exactly.
So it's it's a beautiful complications on the inside. It's very nice.
Yeah, this is this is definitely cool. So this is going to be a big deal coming up here on Friday. So we're going to move on here and keep rolling through. But this is going to be a big deal. We're going to get to the Subaqua Noma 8 here in about 40 minutes or so at the top of next hour, and just talk a little bit more about that. That watch will also be launching coming up here Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern here, and that's going to be on JTV.
Yeah, and while we're at it, you also answered one of the questions in the chat, which was, what watch will you wear? So.
Oh yeah, yep, yeah. I'm wearing a 47 millimeter Pro Diver, that fade, and then Eric has just more of that classic two-tone with the rose, right?
Yeah. I love the rose gold.
Yep. All right, so let's move on. Should we go for another number one? You want to do that? Should we go for another number one, Eric?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. So.
Yeah.
Let me see here. I'm just going to scroll down.
There was a special one, with the green dial that I really loved.
Number one? Oh, here. This, I think this one. Let me just find it here. I think it's. That's going to be right. Nope. Right here. Is this it right here?
You like boxing, Ryan? Yeah.
Yeah. Do I like boxing?
Yeah. Because we have a big fight coming up, with Young Butt,
with
Jake Paul and
Mike
Tyson.
Yes. So
I'm just afraid, I don't want Tyson to get knocked out.
Really?
He's 50. I mean,
he's 58, right?
Age is a number, but
okay.
I don't know.
Okay. Here, I got something for you. When is it coming up? Because I know they were going to fight, and then Mike had like a little health issue, and
they were going to fight back in July. But they postponed it. It's actually this weekend.
Is it this? Oh, it's on Netflix.
Yeah, everyone that has a Netflix account is free.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, I'll be watching it. So here's so you're thinking Jake.
I'm thinking Jake.
Okay, I'm saying Mike. And okay, let's. I'll bet you a nice lunch on the beach. Is that fair enough?
Fair enough.
Okay. Well, it'll be a good opportunity to see again. So okay, we'll see who's buying lunch. Yeah, we'll just go to. That'd be fun. It'd be a good time to hang out too.
Yep.
Okay. So here's the funny thing is, just one little thing about me is I do like. I like retro video games and also pinball. And back in Minnesota, I have an arcade that has 5,000 games on it. And one of them is Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.
Oh.
And then my pinballs are still up in Minnesota too. I have a couple of them. And I just like the retro games. So I don't have anything down here. I actually bought this little stick that you plug in the HDMI, and it's got a bunch of games on it, including Punch-Out.
Yeah.
And I was on Sunday when I got back from the ship, I went back, and on my big screen TV, I'm able to play like Tyson's Punch-Out. After we go have lunch, and you buy lunch for me, we can go to my place and play a little.
I'm a big Mike Tyson, fan myself. I used to.
Yeah.
Well, actually, my second sport that I love is boxing.
Yeah.
So I watched Mike Tyson growing up.
Yeah.
You know, it's just that I think he can. You know, I'm not sure about his skills right now.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I actually believe I think Mike's going to pull it off. We'll see. I mean, I want them both to come out like there'll be a winner, but I don't want someone to just get demolished, one or the other. But
I'm just excited for the event. You know, historically we usually don't have celebrity fights.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just the fact that they're filling out stadiums, you know, with celebrity fights. It's a different type of, you know.
So do you think because I know they've kind of like done little cracks at each other and stuff, but I think they're probably friends. But they're playing it up a little bit in terms of that for everything. But yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting. All right, well, we got the bet. Everybody's here, witnessed it. Yep. Well, let's get to this. It's number 21, and this is going to be this one's the number one. And so we were talking about this before. It's different than the model we kicked off the show, because that was more that turquoise dial. This is a green dial, but what we have for this variation, it's the Lupa design with that. It's 45807. Let me just type this in here really quick. 45807, 45807. And the price on this for the number one is $749.90, $750. And you get into this mother of pearl dial that has that green that's been done. Diamond hour markers going all the way around. You have a Swiss-made movement, which is the Ronda 5050C, which is a movement I really like. You have the dual disc indicator for the date. You have a dual timer over here for your hours and your minutes. And then it will also go down to the 10th of a second here and the second. So a lot really going along. And when you look at the case back here, the sticker is still on. You have AL's signature. You were talking about this. This is something Eric was really talking about.
That's why I really wanted it.
And right here, look at this. Right here in the upper corner. This is number one, I believe, of 300. So for under $750, you can get into this Lupa, genuine diamond certified by Invicta. Iconic design of what we have, a Swiss-made movement, AL signature. You get that first one of that 300 guaranteed. It's that amazing bracelet we talked about before with that first timepiece. What was the first watch? It was that Lupa. What was it? $270, $270?
I believe so. Something like $69.90.
Okay, yeah. So for less than, I mean, you multiply that by 3. That's more than what this number one actually is. If you really want to get a number one to your collection, this is a pretty affordable way to be able to do it here tonight.
And if this watch is still available in the next minutes, I'm buying the watch.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah. I mean, it's a way to go. And when I think when it's been available before in the stores, it's been more. So we've marked these number ones down further than what they were actually offering. Even if there was like an additional coupon, we want to just give you a chance, who's tuning in the podcast, opportunity to get in, to have that number one as a part of your collection that maybe you thought you would never get. Because if you're buying, watches from me on JTV that are number limited editions, or the former network, you didn't know what number you were getting. Yep. Here you're guaranteed to get this exact watch. That is the number one, and you get it for that price. Nobody else can get it.
Nobody else can get it.
I mean, it's just what it comes down to. Whoever wants it can get it. So this is it's a reserve timepiece too with the Lupa. Not all the Lupas are part of the reserve timepieces. The water resistance is 100 meters, weighs a little bit over half a pound. So you're getting 7-8 ounces on the wrist. And from that also, we have 8 different diamonds for 8 of the hour markers on the inside. Patented design, that's a part of it. A dual deployant closure that also has right here with that decorative finish on the dual deployant closure. Easy on, easy with an audible click. Generous bracelet is what you receive. But, you really can't go wrong at this price for this watch, and it being that number one. Very, very exclusive.
Yeah. Yeah, and we don't get that many number ones with our CEO signature. So that's even makes them more unique.
You know what? I'm just trying to think about that. I don't know if all the number ones that we've had presented here on the podcast. There might not have been one that actually had AL signature on the back.
Yeah, that's why when I saw it, I was like,
Yeah, that doesn't come along too often. No. So, and you will for sure get the certificate of authenticity. I believe the watch, I'm not going to say for sure, but you might be getting it in that aluminum case with AL signature on it too. So this is an opportunity to be able to get it. We're going to move off of it here in just a minute or two and continue to move on. And I'm going to go along with just one accessory for just a couple minutes because everybody wanted this on the cruise. Here's a watch on my wrist right here. Beauty that goes along with it. I have a couple different Lupas in my personal collection. You remember the Lupa Diver? It was the same bracelet, but it was more of a round case design with a domed crystal, round crystal.
Yep, I know exactly which one you're talking about.
That's a beautiful timepiece also. But here's your chance to get the exact watch that's on my wrist right now. The sticker is still in the back. We were talking about before.
The diamonds on the markers.
Diamonds on the markers. You can see the red sticker. You know, we brought out that question on one of the first podcasts, like how long you worn a watch, and then you realize that the sticker was still on the back, or maybe it was like on the butterfly clasp, or sometimes it might be like right up here where the bracelet is in the lug system. I mean, it's happened to me. It's been quite a while. People are pretty worked up about that. They were like, yeah, I can relate to that.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to move on here with this. Any other questions there?
We have one question from Yuri. Can the different color Invicta helmets available?
Are the different colors? I know there are Invicta helmets on the website on Invicta stores.
I've seen the racing helmets.
Yeah, the racing helmets. Yeah. I don't know if it's the smaller, tiny little helmets.
Smaller, like the yellow one
and
or
the black, red, and white.
Black, red, and white.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know about those.
I don't think those are available.
The racing helmets are super cool.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was like $200. And I don't know if there's like a small one and a full sizer for sure, but there are two different options I remember I just recently saw. And then I saw Rich is on. Hopefully Tyson is quick and he knocks Paul out within 3 rounds. Rich was actually on the cruise with me. So yeah, and he had a cool collection that he had out there during the expo, which was pretty cool.
Yeah. So an NH25A can do all those tricks.
Yeah, the NH35A can do those tricks. Yep, that's true. So okay, well we'll move on here. I'm going to bring this watch back to. Oops, hold on a second here. I'm going to bring this watch back to where it goes. It goes in slot 21. The first time I did this, Eric, it's all a learning process. There are watches all over. I didn't know where to go with everything.
We should show some JTs.
Yeah, I'll show you.
Like Gladiator.
We can do it. We want to do. Well, here I want to show this one thing real quick. So we're going to do the next item is going to be we're going to do an accessory just for a minute because this was so hot on the ship that I wanted to bring it here for everyone. Let me just find where it is. Where is it? Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. Number 6. Number 6. So we're going to show this. There's only one of these on the ship, and so it's a 25 slot impact case. And so this was actually, I think it was from the 2019 or 2020 cruise where there was a question and answer session with AL. And the collector said, why don't you make a dive case that can be just about the size of a carry-on luggage? And you can fit as many watches as you can in. And so this came out. It was a 25 slot case. So this 25 slot case, FAA good. You can carry this on. It can be a carry-on if you're going to take 25 watches plus one on your wrist, 26 with you. You can put in that overhead compartment. And so this price, $59.90. And you get this exact version. You get the pink with the tropical motif that go along with it. There are 2 individual trays on the inside to hold those 25 watches. There's a handle on one side, 90 degrees. There's another handle, telescoping arm that will actually go all the way out here. And there are 2 almost like inline skate wheels on the bottom, so it's nice and smooth as you roll along. So if you've never seen this before, I'll just open it up and not touch our computers here. But let me see if I just show this real quick. And this is one of the trays, and if you take this out, there's a second tray underneath for your watches. And on the underside here, which I like, there's a padding. So it's not going to scratch the watches on the lower tray. So under $60, This is what a lot of collectors in the ship really wanted to see. And so it's fantastic to be able to organize, store, and also travel. Or, maybe you're going to a watch collector event, because those are all going on, or you're going to go to one of Eric's events at one of the stores. You can have that 50 slot case or like this one and bring some of your watches to show everybody, right?
Yeah, and a lot of times that's what collectors do. They bring two of those.
Okay, sure.
Let's say you have 100, 200 watches in your collection, but you want to show or you want to travel with, your top 25 or your top 50, right?
Exactly.
It's a very good opportunity to, just pick out what you really want.
You really want. Yeah, a nice selection. Not too big, not too small. All goes in here, nice and compact, very sturdy. And, when you wheel this, it's going to be nice and quiet for you. So under $60, $59.90. Go for it. I know some people on the ship, they saw one. There was one in the store. I don't know if you had to buy so many watches and they might have offered it out to you. But if you missed out on it there, you can get it here today for under $60. I think this is a huge buy here tonight.
And I love that pink.
Yeah. I've only seen, this is only the second time I've seen this version. So maybe I should pick up on this and have it out there. I mean, and guys look good in pink and they always get attention with it. Anytime I wear a pink tie, always got compliments. Otherwise nobody ever compliment me.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's we'll continue on here. And remember, in about 25 minutes, we're going to go over the Subaqua Noma 8. And if you're just tuning in, I'm going to be on JTV coming up this Friday at 10 p.m. Kendi's flying down here to Florida to the corporate office. We're going to be launching the Subaqua Noma 8 and also that excursion that we showed just a little bit earlier. So it's going to be a big night. You definitely want to tune in, but you also want to stick around here too, because we have more number ones. We're going to be talking to Eric just another hour and a half here and give a sake. And you've been awesome, man. I mean, it's been so cool here with you tonight. It's just like it's like you and I have been doing this for like years or something like that. So you're total natural.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying the time here, Ryan.
Yeah. Well, thank you. And I said you wanted to be a part of it here, and here you are. Did you say you wanted to?
I like that JT bolt on the second.
This one?
On
number 3.
Yeah, number 3. Yeah, that one.
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, with that hurt. Okay, we're gonna go to 22. So this is gonna be the next one. So this is Jason Taylor. And this is another numbered limited edition. Okay, you got some good taste there.
Yeah, that's another one that.
All right, tell me why.
It's just that design in the Bolt collection, given it that is a JT, pretty unique in black. I love the yellow markers on the inside. It just looks beautiful. I've sold so many watches like that.
Yeah, and JT is we're talking about Jason Taylor. He was a professional football player, got inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I think it was 2017, if memory serves me right. And he was just an awesome guy. You had experiences with him, did you?
Yeah. Actually, we did a few events, and while I was back in Miami, and actually a fun fact, my first event was a Jason Taylor event.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was back in November of 2014.
Okay.
Yeah, I was so new. I was so scared. I'm like, oh my God.
Were you intimidated by him or what?
No, not by him. It's just in my previous companies, I've never been part of such a huge events.
Yeah.
So, just having a celebrity, all the hype, it's kind of nerve-wracking sometimes. But I was very proud of what came out of it.
Yeah. Well, he's another humble guy.
He is
super cool. It was really cool. In Mexico, it was only he and I on a show.
Oh, wow.
And so it was, where typically it would be a host and him, but they just had the two of us be on a show in Mexico. It was really fun. I mean, it just, kind of like what we're doing right now. And he was really good. And he's just such a nice guy and such a, he's just overall just a fantastic person. I mean, just, talking to him and just what he does for, kids and everything like that through the Jason Taylor Foundation. And he really had a really big niche with our collectors. Are always looking for the new Jason Taylor. Always looking for it.
Yeah,
And
I remember we had like an entire case full of his watches, and they just sold very well.
Yeah.
They're very like beautifully designed, made into different types of collections. They were all limited to 1,000 pieces. Some of them limited to 100.
Yes. Well, look at this one right here. So this is number one of $9.99. $9.99. This is cool for a couple reasons. Yeah, exactly. So first of all, it's $9.99 because it's to pay homage to his number, which is 99. And actually, when we first came out with the name Invicta Hercules, that was the original name, but then we changed it to Bolt Herc. I actually don't know the exact story why, but it's a Bolt Herc thereafter. So this one is actually kind of the OG right here with the Hercules. And you have the Swiss movement on the inside, which is a Ronda 8040N. And this is actually really cool with this watch. So you get the number one out of $9.99, big story that goes along. And the Ronda 8040N. But the cool thing is like up here, it's your day of the week is actually then highlighted through this stenciled dial up at the very top. So that's how you actually get to figure out then your day of the week. I think right now, because we're coming up on, it looks like almost midnight. So if I undo crown here and advance forward, you'll be able to see as I move along here. I think it will change then. Yep, it'll change over then to Sunday is highlighted right now. And then it'll go over to Monday, Tuesday. There's not a quick change day and date with this. You actually with the date you can, but not the day of the week. You actually have to just keep on going forward until you get to that particular day of the week here. So it should be popping up here to Monday here shortly from Sunday. Yep, you can see the little red highlight that goes along with it. So pretty cool in terms of design work. So this is that Bolt Herc or the Hercules. The olive branch has been carved in off the side, which Hercules had 12 different labors. And the first one was he had to corner the Neman lion that was terrorizing all the village people. And so he formed a club out of an olive branch and cornered him. And he was able to slay this lion that was, supposed to be not being able to be slain or something like that. So, but this is a bigger timepiece about that 55 millimeter, but I'll say this, 55, 56. But the thing is, my take is, and feel free to agree or disagree with me, Eric, but is if you look at the back of the watch right here, you'll see how the bezel actually pops out. To me, that's like about 3 millimeters or so here. And that goes to the other side. That's how the watch is being measured. What's actually sitting on your wrist is probably about 50 millimeters, like more of like a Subaqua Noma 3 design is actually on your wrist.
Yeah, I completely agree. Sometimes, and especially, that type of timepiece, although it's a little bit bigger, but it kind of feels a little bit smaller, on your time.
What's touching your wrist is smaller than what you're looking straight down at because the bezel does stick out a little bit more. Now, the price on this, only one person get it. It's $1,500. It's $1,499.90 to be able to get it in the Bolt Herc number one. Love what Eric said. We did this with a lot of JTs. And when did this come out? This one was 2019. We did a lot of JT watches. They were like black, and we'd have either like yellows were little highlights, or we did oranges or reds, and I think greens.
And that's what I love about the JT collection. They always have something peculiar about either the color or the design. They have something special.
And I mean, and this watch definitely has it. I mean, the Bolt Herc is an amazing design. 2019 actually, it was the year that we came out with a Bolt Herc. We had it launched here down at the corporate office here at Invicta, and it was amazing. I mean, it was just like just this new design where we had this Franco chain that was a part of the design here for the bezel, which is a unidirectional rotating bezel. 2 more chains. They're a part of the bracelet on this. And I mean, just a beautiful, masterful timepiece and part of that JT and also that reserve collection. So all the finest components are being made up here for both the inside and outside of this watch. But this is number one that you get with the timepiece. I know just a little bit of Spanish, but not enough.
Numero uno.
Numero uno. So that's one thing. I took Spanish in high school and everything. I mean, some of it stuck, but not not enough. I
Not
wouldn't
enough.
mind being a little bit more fluent though.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I mean, now now that you're living up here,
Mm-hmm.
I think you can. It's gonna be definitely good,
Yeah.
for the language.
What would you? What if I wanted to tell me what would you recommend? I mean, because you're completely bilingual. I do. Is it like
Mhm.
equal with your?
Yeah,
With you, I mean, you can talk
yeah,
the same.
yeah, I can talk the same.
Mhm.
Yeah, usually like in business, I prefer English, but
Mhm.
I feel almost equally the same.
Yeah. So here, let me ask you this: when you're thinking, like, do you think in English or
Yeah, I think in English.
what about math?
When I'm upset, I think in Spanish.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
Or my wife is Colombian, so we kind of sometimes we get at it in Spanish.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. So who wins?
Her,
Yeah, she has to.
yeah,
Right?
or at least
Yeah,
you can
you don't
make
want
it
to be
sing. Yeah,
sleeping outside
yeah, no,
on the cement sidewalk or anything like
no.
that. But yeah, you let them win. Yeah, that's right. And math is English
Um,
numbers.
um, no, Spanish.
Really? Okay, that's what. Hmm.
Yeah.
I had a friend, or one of my best friends from growing up. I went out and visited him like a year and a half ago for his 50th in Arkansas, and he's from Burundi, Africa, and he learned math in French,
Oh wow.
and he speaks like 5 different languages. When he came here, here's a funny story. So it's real quick. We'll get back to the watch, but so he came here from Burundi. He's like 6'5", 6'6", and just a great guy. He had 2 older brothers who came, and they're all basketball players.
Hmm.
His oldest brother is 6'9", Ernest, and he came to a town, where I was at in suburbia, Minnesota, and he was a big basketball player, played for the University of Minnesota. And then his brother Patrice came, who was I played with, and then Alan came, and so when Alan came, we were in study hall,
Yeah.
and he didn't know a word of English. So all of us basketball players were around him and stuff, and we were looking through the yearbook. And so the first words we taught him, we were going through the yearbook, and we're looking at the girls, and saying like, "She's fine." He's like, "Fine?" And we're like, "Yeah, she's fine." And he's like, "Ah, fine." And I'm like, "Yeah, she's fine." Fine? Yeah. Not fine.
Not fine.
It's like just like and now he's actually senior vice president at Walmart.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's an amazing leader and everything like that. And so yeah, pretty cool to and it was funny too because he didn't drive in high school.
Hmm.
He got his license after, and I lived so close to him that I would pick him up and we'd go to school. And now when I was out in Arkansas, he actually drove me back to the airport, which is the weirdest thing because I'd never ridden with him before. He's a great driver, but he just didn't drive like back in
Yeah,
high school when he first came over. But
that's pretty cool.
yeah, back to the watch though. I mean, we're looking at this. I mean, do you want to put the watch on your wrist and see how this feels? I mean, you said you
Of
like
course.
this. Just and give me your
Yeah.
take, like what you feel. So here's the thing: number one of 999 that will ever be made. And yeah, go for it, and we'll try to keep it in the shot that's up there.
Like,
Oh, here's the one thing though. You got to put it this way. You have to put it upside down for you.
okay.
So it's right side up for the camera here. I'll move this back. Got it there? Yeah, there you go.
Look at that.
All right, check that out. Oops. Don't mind that. So what's your take on that? I mean, what do you think, Eric?
I really love how the band feels.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the size is really, really nice.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me back, when I'm in the stores that I'm modeling, the watches for the customer, and I put it in my wrist, but also I put it in theirs just to see how it feels, because pretty much you need to have the watch, a lot of times on your wrist to see how it feels, how it looks, and definitely this is a keeper.
Mm-hmm. And that's the whole thing. I mean, all that black, that's a part of it right there. And then that pop of yellow. I mean, it's that Invicta yellow is what you get.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite features. That yellow really pops.
Mm-hmm. That yellow just pops so much. And here, I pulled this up. So here's at his 50th birthday party. So I flew down with a coach from high school. And so I'll just show this right here on this next shot. So if we go to camera 2, Renee, camera 2. We'll go to camera 2. And so there I am. There's Patrice, his next older brother. And there's Alon in the middle. And then another one of his brothers, Steven, and then that's Coach. And there's Mrs. Maxfield right down there. She was the one who took all of them in. So, and she was just like the nicest lady ever. But, and it's cool to see. And, we can still keep in touch through Facebook and such. But yeah, good stuff. All right. Yeah. Well, so with the prices, we're looking at, $1,500. So you'll get into the number 1 timepiece from Jason Taylor. We're not making the Jason Taylors anymore either. Mm-hmm. So it's, again, just with the partners that we have going on is the NFL and also with JM Carrera. And there's a big event with the JM here this past weekend that he went around to the new store in San Juan.
Yeah, he started in PR. We did an amazing event in Las Americas. Then Saturday we did an amazing event in Sawgrass, and we ended up in Bayside on Sunday. So it was a great tour, full of collectors, customers. We had a lot of fun time. Every JM event it's so fun. Customers take a lot of pictures with him.
Yeah.
And it's really good for the brand. To have an ambassador that not only enjoys talking to all of his fans, but also enjoys being in the stores, with the staff, and gets excited. He really gets excited, in all his events.
It was the second time I've seen him, and first time we were on a remote broadcast in Mexico. Super nice guy, and then he was just he knows a lot more about the watches than he did before. So he's really involved. And the first time I met him, we were just kind of talking to him about the racing and stuff like that. And then now he's like, oh no, I like this model, and that's one I need to add to my collection. And he's Swiss movements and the automatics, and like he's got the lingo down, and he's really been absorbing it. It's really fun to be able to see, with him. So yeah, great guy. And then just with the racing too, like one of our racers for Invicta Racing now, Gabriel, is moving up to F1.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw that. I was really proud of that.
Yeah, that's really cool. So there are 2 races left. I think one is it this month still, and then one in December for them.
I'm not 100% sure, but I
know we're up by 35 points with 2 different circuits to go, and I don't know. The one is happening right now, or maybe in the next week or 2, and then last one in December. But can hold it off and actually win out of 11, 12 teams. That first year would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, it would be pretty awesome.
So. All right, well, we're going to move on here. This is model 32525. If you want to get into this number 1, absolute number 1, this exact watch that was on Eric's wrist, we should be charging more, but we're not.
Yeah, we should be charging more. That's a true Invicta classic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, right here, the Bolt Herc number 1. We'll just show you the number 1 out the door, and we're going to move on to the next version here. So real quick, I just got to work with Jaime. And you'll be able to see right down the very bottom. That's the Jason Taylor logo. The sticker is still on the back, and it says actually Invicta Hercules number 1, 001 out of 999.
999.
Well, we're gonna move on. And anything that you want to show off here with we'll do another watch or 2, and then we'll go to we'll show off the new Subaqua Noma 8, because I know a lot of people want to look at that. We have this is so much easier now from what I had before. I was on that sofa with all these boxes on it before.
I was looking at that Ocean Reef, the women's one.
Oh, yeah.
The white leather.
Yeah, we can do that. This one's a strap, but we have a leather one also.
Sorry, not the leather.
This one?
Yeah, that one. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's do that. Number 19. So we're going to go to 19, which is so this model number is different. Let me just double check. Yeah, so I wonder why. This model number is 90278. Yeah, 90278. I know, I looked at the case back too. And if I go right here, 90278. Yeah. I've never seen a model number that high before. Have you?
Actually, back in the days that used Invicta made the model 900 series for store exclusives for the stores.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. So so this would have been a store exclusive.
That would have been a store.
Oh, see, I didn't know that because I was in the TV. Talk about that then.
So yeah, back in the days of in 2016, Invicta did a line of different types of collections with the starting with the 9. And the Ocean Reef collection was one of them. We have pro divers. We had many different collections, and those were exclusively to the stores.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but I love the Ocean Reef collection because that's another collection that I don't see either online or in the stores.
I haven't,
and it's a beautiful collection. I love that collection.
I haven't presented Ocean Reef in a long time, and I think it's something we need to bring up. I have I think like maybe 4 or so, and actually when I first came along with here's a story with the Ocean Reef. When I first came on board with Invicta in 2011, I had some watches already, and I had a meeting with Al and a couple other people, and I was like, well, let's just further your collection a little bit more. Why don't you look at a couple models and just pick them out, and we'll just help you out and add to your collection a little bit, which was really cool. And 2 of them I actually picked out were I picked out an Akula, and then I picked out 2 Ocean Reefs. One was like a gunmetal with little kind of green on the inside bracelet, and also gold tone variation. And man, I haven't worn those watches for a long time, but they have the ETA movements on the inside. But great timepiece. And yeah, so the Ocean Reefs have this different type of bezel that go along here. And what's cool about this version is you have the diamond hour markers go around like almost that diamond teardrop, totaling out at 24 different diamonds, 10 points of diamonds. So amongst those 24, and this is a smaller size. This is a 40 millimeter. Now I would say it would be geared more towards the women for this version. I mean, if you're a guy and you're into this, that's fine too. Go for it. But the price is $119.99. $119.99. Now the strap looks like it's actually leather, but it's not. We have the strap that goes along here. I think it's a poly silicone blend, and you have the look of like the embossing of leather, but it's not. It's not the genuine leather. What we have to do, we have to get more of these watches out though. For the regular 46 millimeter.
Yeah, we should.
Which is a typical size.
Yeah, I used to sell a ton of those. It was I mean, men and ladies. It was just a great seller.
Yeah. So you get diamonds, 24 different diamonds or 10 points. You have that are certified by us, the upgraded flame fusion crystal from us at Invicta, and also the water resistance, 200 meters of water resistance. So, I mean, fantastic buy. I love the silver tone, and then with the white bezel, white strap for $119.90. So just $120. Yeah, this is something we have to put back into production more. There's one that what was it? It was a silver case that I always wanted to get. It was a silver case, blue dial. I can't remember the bezel. Maybe the bezel was over too. And then it was a brown leather strap, and it looked so sharp. And I never got one of those. I wish I did way back then. That was a regret of. I don't know where I can get it now, but maybe secondhand. But here's a way to be able to get in. Get something that really nobody else has. And you said this was back in when you guys had this?
Started with Invicta in 2014. So pretty much the first 2.5 years, they were pretty consistent. But after that,
they tailed off.
They kind of.
And I don't know why. Yeah.
So every time I see 1 or 2 in the stores, that's what I show to the customers. As I always like, Invicta has so many collections, but sometimes they don't bring all of them. But when they do, I like to show the rarity, to the customers, to the collectors, and it's really cool.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, this is cool. Like I haven't held an Ocean Reef forever. Like I can't even remember the last time I presented one. I think it's been years. And even then, if I had one, it was probably years before that I presented, like you said, like 2016 maybe, and then they tapered out.
And I believe we have about 2 more that are kind of similar
to this.
Yeah. So
let me see if I can find it real quick while we're going through. So 40. Oh, I found them right here.
Yep.
We have 2 different versions. So it's actually 27 and 28. So let me just go to those real quick. So 27. This is going to be. Well, what's different about this one?
Oh,
What's
oh, look at Robert. Hi, Eric.
is that Robert
Looks like
Vega?
Robert,
Let me see.
Bob Cohen. Those frees are very chunky.
Here, we're going to go with the leather one. So this is going to be number 28. I'll put it along the side. So
Yeah.
we're looking at the same case
Oh,
design.
that one's leather.
Yeah, same bezel. And here's the thing too, is like with this one, this is number 28 and the model number is 10723. You look at this.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, custom leather strap that fits perfectly in the lugs. You have the 24 different diamonds yet again. Looking on the inside, this version, okay, the first version we showed was just an alloy dial. This one has a beautiful mother of pearl on the inside. And then as I turn the strap around, you'll be able to see right here, genuine calf leather. So you get even that bigger upgrade with that leather. And it has a bit of that croc embossing with the big sort of baseball stitching that goes on, all same color for the white, but it's still hovering at that 40 millimeters for this watch.
Yeah, Bob Cohen. I have several 46 millimeters Ocean Reefs.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, do you know Bob Cohen?
I've met him.
You have, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, he goes by Museum Bob because he's got like a lot of really cool older models of watches, and he's one of those thousand watch guys.
Wow.
Yeah. This one, I mean, 40 millimeters, again, could be for the men or the women. I say it's geared a little bit more towards the women, but, teach their own when it comes to it for this watch. But I think this is amazing. And the price on number 28, I didn't look and see is it the same price? I just want to double check.
$149.90.
$149.90. So it's a little bit more for the leather strap variation with the mother of pearl, which makes sense. I mean,
yeah, it makes sense.
Both of them. I mean, Ocean Reefs were
but
never
it's still
that
an
price
unbeatable
before.
price. Still very
Exactly.
and very unique watch.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll go on here because I think those are just fantastic options. So I'm going to take this watch out of the screen and put the other one back. The other one was, let me just find it. That was number 19, I think. Just need to get all the stuff put back correctly. 2019. That goes here. I'm going to take this watch away and put it back to where it goes. And this one was 28, right? All right. Renee, I'm going to pop that watch back. I'm going to take, so if we want to switch that. 28. So I'm going to take this watch away. Okay, here we go. Okay. No, should we find some more diamonds? Or, oh, you know what? It's 9 o'clock. Maybe we'll do the Subaqua Noma 8, huh? Let's do that.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we said it before.
Da, 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 da.
Da, 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 da. So we're going to type in the model number on the back here too. This is not a selling timepiece, Renee. This is just a presentation. So we'll just probably keep up that Ocean Reef here for a bit. But now the thing is, I didn't have. I'm just looking for the model number. We'll look it up on the back here. I think maybe it's all the way at the end here too. We had. I didn't have a chance. 47291, I think. 47291. Yeah, here we go. So we're looking at the Subaqua Noma 8, and we're talking. In my opinion, well, let me get your take, and then I'll give my take. What's your take on the Subaqua collection from Invicta? Like, how important do you think it is to, in general, to the company and to the collectors?
I would say it's a very important collection because it brings a history. And from number 1, number 2, 3, 4, 7, the specialty. So it brings kind of a history, and now that we're coming up with the Noma 8, it continues that trajectory. So in the stores we don't have all of them, but the Subaquas that we have, they're very nice, and they sell very well.
Yeah, and the thing is too, Subaqua is such an expansive collection. I want to define this for a second too, because there's Subaqua, and when we came out with this collection, so Subaqua is a collection, and then Noma is the series. And Noma is one of many, many different series of watches within the Subaqua collection. I mean, you have the Venom, there's the Specialty, the Nitro, which actually had the oxygen tanks in the back. I don't know if you remember those.
Yep.
Those watches were pretty cool. Poseidon, Sea Dragon, the Alpha that has the rope and cable bezel. just all this different things. But the Noma just seems like, I mean, it kicked off everything about 20 years ago with the Subaqua Noma 1.
Mm-hmm.
And did you know I have a dog and named it Noma?
No, actually, that's
Yeah, that's Noma right there.
Oh wow, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. So yeah, and if it was going to be a boy, name would have been Akula. Yeah.
That's another cool name.
Pretty cool name. So here's the thing is we're getting into the Subaqua Noma. And now this has been highly anticipated. This watch is going to be available here on the show on JTV. We're going to have that unveiling of this watch. It's been about 3 years of design or development that has been going on, 2 to 3 years, and just built completely from the ground up. And what we've done though, Eric, is this watch is actually going to be a little bit smaller than the others. We're looking at about 48 millimeters, where we've had, I think the 7 was 52, if memory serves me right. And then we've kind of been around that 50 mark.
50 mark.
Yep. And then 47 for 1 and 2. Then we bumped it up with the Subaqua Noma 3. But here's the thing is, I mean, there's been a lot of thought, a lot of design going in. Obviously, what you're getting are the 8 different rider tabs, 2, 2, 2, and 2, that go along for the hour markers. And that, again, is designating that 8th generation. And if you look at the side here, too, you can just see the profile going up off the rest of the case here of the timepiece. And that profile is going to hover right, I believe it's right around about 18 millimeters. So you're looking at about almost 3/4 of an inch coming up. Now there's a brushed finish and then a high polished finish, as you'll see, like this cradle that's a part. And here's something that I find fascinating. Look at the engineering that goes along, where it just goes like with the waves of the ocean, because Subaqua meaning the water.
Yep.
That design and influence has been carried along in this timepiece. And it almost to me looks like a wave right here crashing, where the surfer goes right down the tunnel, or I don't know, they shoot the tunnel. I don't know what it's called. And that's right where the oversized pin is that holds the bracelet into the design of the watch. I mean, very, very well thought out in terms of the design. And as you'll see, there are some very small screws that bring the bottom of that cradle into that case design and incorporate everything in. We're going back to that original design here for the case back, where you have the dial with the case back that has the raised polished logo sort of on that sandblasted finish for the rest of the timepiece. And I mean, what you're looking at with is 200 meters of water resistance, the timepiece. So again, professional dive standards, and then completely new design for the function pushers and the crown, the triple screw down feature, which most of the Subaquas do have, and especially within that Noma series. But then Eric, this bracelet. The bracelet is just like, and everybody's asking, like, is that
one of my favorite parts, that bracelet?
Yeah. What do you think about what do you like about the bracelet?
I just love, the like just how it's made. It's so.
It almost looks like a little bit like armor-like, going down. I mean, you look at the gap that goes along here and how everything just perfectly has been designed and machined and engineered in here to just fit almost like that armor. Very solid. Now this black. People thought maybe it's polyurethane, like a Kraken or something like that. It's not. This is all stainless steel that goes all the way through. This is one of a few different executions that we're going to have coming up on Friday night on JTV. So it's everybody's been waiting for it. Whenever one, like a new generation comes out, it just lights it up. They sell out. People want it. But then everybody wants to get into, or when is the next one coming out? How soon? Well, the 8th is here after the long anticipation.
Well, I have a prediction.
What's that?
It's going to sell out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's going to sell out. Everybody's, and one of them is like a turquoise. The turquoise aisle, that's going to be a hot one. There's a little bit of different, a couple different executions too, which you're going to love. This is the 8040N on the inside of this timepiece here.
That movement, 8040N.
Isn't that? Yeah, beautiful Swiss-made movement, 13 jeweled movements. Right at the very bottom, you have the oversized grand date window that's going to be a part of it. You have the retrograde day of the week. That was actually the same movement that was in that JT with the yellow that we had earlier with the Bolt Herc. And then the chronograph goes all the way up to 10 hours here to be able to go along with it. On the wrist, I'll tell you,
And I know that Invicta took 3 years to release it. That, you know, that means how much time and effort they made to beautifully design, you know, the next generation of the Subaqua.
Well, and that's the thing too, is like when we come out with like a, you know, the 7th generation, we wanted to see like how it hit, you know, what did people love about it? Maybe what were a couple drawbacks, or what did we learn from that? Because every design, we want to add more and more in. You want to keep the same sort of DNA and stuff, but what can we do? How can we change it different? Or what did we do great that we can make even better going forward? So it's just not, you know, we had 8 and then we're, you know, the 9 is already, you know, had been developed for a year. No, I want to see what people think about it, how well it hits, and they hit really well, obviously. But and what's going to go on? Me, in my opinion, this is the most intricate design, I think, of any of the Subaquas that we've had thus far, except maybe for the Subaqua Noma 5, the function pushers in the crown, that completely patented portion.
Yeah, that one's one of my favorites.
Yeah, but this one, I mean, you guys are going to absolutely love it. We didn't want to go super size with it. We brought it at 4 millimeters from the Subaqua Noma 7. And just laying on the wrist, this watch is just going to have an amazing feel. Look at how it's just, like I said, it's like that armor going down for the timepiece, yet very fluid. For that bracelet, it's going to fit just amazing on the wrist. I'll just put my hand through it. Look at this. Fits my wrist, just tucks around. Yeah. Bigger wrists are going to look great on it too.
It's tailor-made for your wrist.
It is. It's tailor-made for my wrist, your wrist, and everybody else is going to get into it on Friday. So yeah, just completely exciting here. We're really happy to be able to have this. So much design and engineering, and you know, just being able to going back to the drawing board. You do something, you know, you create something. You know, we have the 3D printers, print something up, look at it. How does it look? What modifications can we make? And AL's not going to put out, you know, something, especially with this collection, until, I mean, it has been gone over and over and over, and it is just done to absolute perfection. And that's what you're getting here with this watch.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be, the only place you can get it is at JTV here coming up to start off with the initial kickoff. And it's always, I'll tell you, to be able to get it. I'll tell you, the prices on these watches that are coming up, you don't want to miss it. Let's just say that. We'll just say that. So any more questions from people?
Well, some feedback from Christopher. I thought the 7 was too big. I love the 45 millimeter versions.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The 7 was bigger. We said it was 52 millimeters. This is 48. So, you know, we're looking at just a little bit grand diver, a little bit over grand diver size. So this is it's going to have a great fit. I mean, there's a lot of heft that goes along with it, more heft than a grand diver that carries along with it.
And then Paul B is asking, is there a price point yet?
There is. I can't say so. You can find out on JTV at 10 o'clock on Friday. So you'll like it. You'll like it. You know, there's, you know, other things you can get out there at the price point that these are going to be out at, and you're not getting quality, just like everything else. Exactly. You're not getting, I mean, you'll be surprised at what we're going out with. So, yep, you don't want to miss it. So,
and I'll be watching.
Yeah. All right. Very cool. All right. Well, let's keep rolling.
Let's keep rolling.
Real quick, I just want to do one quick hit on the thermos. Just real quick, and also the blanket. Let's just do that, and then we'll finish off with the watches. So if we're looking at, let's see, number, because I want to just have this in number 24, and this tumbler, real quick. Everybody had these out on the ships. They had their own variation of it, and this is number 24 for what, $17.90, under $20. I mean, you can go to, you know, your favorite coffee store and you can get your tumblers, but you know, and there's that coffee stuff. But for the Invicta collectors out there, I'm really happy that we have this. It feels, I mean, feel this. It's actually, it's not painted on. It's like embossed. You can feel the name Invicta is actually rising up here from everything else, and all the renderings that are a part of the design here. Now, this is 40 ounces. And it goes narrower right down here, so it fits in all the different coffee or the cup
yeah,
holders.
on the cars. Yeah.
Yeah, like my custom one over there, it has a little bit of slimmer. It will fit in too, but then you get the straw, and then this is not a push down. It's actually a screw down lid that goes along with it. So yeah, this is
yeah, and I love the size of it.
Yeah,
it's
keep your hot liquid hot, your cold cold.
Yep.
And here's a way for under $18. It is IG 0309. Get in that mug or the tumbler. It's great. And one more thing, let's just talk about real quick. It's number 23, just because winter's coming up. So I got a question for you then. So you've been here since you've been here in the U.S. since you're 10 or so, and basically South Florida.
Basically South Florida.
Since you've been here, you had a stint up in New York,
Uh-huh.
and you had a stint in Wisconsin.
In Wisconsin.
Okay, was it cold in Wisconsin?
Oh my God, super cold.
Yeah. So now tell me this, because I'm a new resident to Florida, and do you so I'm a new resident of Florida. Do you, like in the winter down here, like do you go out sunbathe? Do you go in the pool, or is it too cold for you?
No, it's too cold for me.
See, I don't get that. I don't get that. See, that's like
it's too cold for me.
I plan on, throughout the winter just being at the beach, getting some sun, enjoying being in shorts. Like, you won't wear shorts in the winter here? Or yeah. No?
And actually, it's funny how the body adjusts, because when I used to live in Wisconsin,
yeah,
when it was 40 and sunny, we would just go out, in just regular polos and shirts. But here, I can't do it.
Really?
And I don't know why.
Well, I don't know.
It's kind of a psychological.
Is that going to happen to me, do you think, then too, after a certain amount of time?
I think it's going to happen to you. Once you get enough Florida in you,
yeah.
So
like maybe another year or two when I'm down here, and family and friends are coming to visit in the winter, I'm going to be wearing a jacket, and they're going to be no, you have to have on your swimsuit.
Yeah, you're gonna be like, they're gonna be like, let's go to South Beach. You're like, no, it's 70.
Exactly. So here's the thing, and that's why we're talking about this. The throw is $29.90, and here's the thing: it's 60 inches by 80 inches. This thing is huge.
Yeah, it's huge.
And so this is a nice throw to just throw on your either on your bed or on your sofa there. So when you're in Florida and it's 70 degrees and you need something warm, then this is it. Easy investment.
It's easy, movie night. It's also good for decoration. I use a lot of the blankets to decor my sofa.
Sure.
Especially if it's Invicta.
Yeah.
So it's good for decoration, cozy nights. You're watching movies. With friends. So it has multi-use.
Yeah. Feel how soft this is.
Yeah.
Very soft. So yeah, I mean this is great. So okay. Well, we're gonna keep going on, but I did want to show this. I was gonna show this the last time, but yeah, definitely an add-on to your order. Get that tumbler, add on the watches. Look at that 25 slot pink rolling traveling case. So yeah, lots of things to go on. Okay, I want to show here. This is one I'd like to go to, number 35. And this is, I want to ask your opinion on this. And this is going to be a number 1. Oh my gosh. This might be the most affordable number 1 tonight.
No way.
Is that the right price? Did it come up on the screen? Number 35? Is that right?
Wow.
Let me double check the case back. Oh.
It is right.
It is. Okay, here. This watch is,
that's the steal of the night.
What's that? This is number 35. Okay. All right. If you want a number 1, and you don't have one yet, this is where you're gonna get it right now.
Yep.
So it's a Diablo with this one's gonna be the JM Carrera. Yeah. Okay, so here's the deal. Okay, this is, in my opinion, right now, and feel free to disagree. I feel that this is the hottest design that we have going currently. Do you agree or not?
I agree, and also I love how lightweight that is.
Yes.
It's so lightweight that
And well, here's the thing. It's lightweight in the steel versions. This is titanium. So it's extra light to get into this tonneau shaped design. There is a sapphire crystal on the front. There's a sapphire crystal on the back, plated all back. You get the red piping around the crown, mechanical automatic, the italicized hour markers on the inside. Let me just get this thing fired up. Just a few turns, it's going to get going. And there it goes. Look at this. Nice, smooth. And look at this in the case back. You get JM's signature. And right here, Renee, you get number 1 out of 1,000. Number 1 for $549.90, $550. You get a number 1 here tonight. We had that Lupa, which was what, $750 or so. That was a great deal.
Yeah.
For that Lupa. Here you're getting into one of the hottest designs that we have going on. 44970 is the number, but you want to click on over on the screen, because I think if you just type in the model number, it might bring you to whatever else is not number 1 on Invicta Store's website. Okay. So you definitely want to type or click on that link or type in 44970-N1.
Dash N1.
Yeah, so 44970-N1, which stands for number 1. So here's the thing is, so what you're getting into is a 7510 caliber movement, which I believe has 8 individual steps every single second. So you get that nice sweeping second hand. Right down here is you're getting the balance wheel. It's oscillating back and forth in the same fashion, 8 times a second. And you get the oversized mainspring up here. And if memory serves me right, I think this caliber movement has a 72-hour power reserve, which is one of the largest power reserves out there. So you can wear this on a Friday, and then you take it off, and it'll still be running Monday when you go back to work or whatever it is. You're going to wear a different weekend watch. I have this design with the titanium case, and I have a different automatic on the inside movement. I have 5 of them.
Yeah, I might have to get my hands on a JM.
Yeah,
I still don't have one. I love the big numbers.
Yeah, big numbers, easy to read.
Yeah,
but
easy
then
to read.
You got that skeletonized dial on the inside also, so you get to see that 7510 on the inside, 21 jeweled movement. This thickness, 17 millimeters, and I love this too. There's just a slight curve. It's not a flat case back, and then everything will just contour to the wrist. And the ones I have a couple number 2s, but I don't have a number 1 in this. So this is that actual number 1 right there. 1 out of 1,000. Look at this.
Yeah, look at the signature, JM.
Yep, you get the JM signature right here. Sapphire crystal. Oh, look at even right down here. 1 Manuel. And then right up here, I think it will say also titanium. You're getting all the upgrades. I mean, this watch right here. I mean, I think it would be a good deal, just at the price it is without it being that number 1. But you get that extra special right there, number 1 out of 1,000. Everybody else who gets into this watch, this exact model, all is done. They would trade it in a second to get number 1, right?
Yeah, we have a comment here from Robert Vega. Love my JM piece, super comfortable on the wrist.
Yeah,
so good comment.
Oh yeah, good to hear from Robert again here too. I have to go have dinner with him sometime. Well, we'll be having lunch at some point soon, but we just don't know who's buying. So we'll have to text each other over the weekend after the big fight. But yeah, I said it before. I think this is really like one of the hottest case designs that we have going, if not the hottest. We have out there. We have it in stainless steel. We have it in the titanium. I mean, titanium is a big upgrade. The overall weight on this, man, 116 grams, which that's about 4 or 5 ounces overall. It's pretty light.
Wow.
I mean, you hold this in your hand. I mean, I love the black plate. It goes along with it too. You have the red piping around the outer chapter ring.
Yeah, and that's a feature that I always like to, highlight in the stores when I actually try on, the watch to the customer, knowing how light it feels.
Yeah.
And
do you think they get into it and they're like, oh, that watch is too big or it's too heavy, or? And then they try it on. They're like, whoa, wait,
exactly.
hold on.
Yeah, because a lot of times, you know, they might see, oh, you know, it's kind of bigger. I'm like, try it on. You'll see how it changes your mind, you know, when you actually have it on. So you know, trying it on, it's like the magic potion for you know, for that client.
I love the tonneau shaped case. I mean, it's got a really expensive look. It's got a premium material with the titanium that goes along. I mean, titanium is really difficult to work with.
Yep.
And it's expensive to work with. And then sapphire crystals. We don't use sapphire crystals all that often.
No.
We have it on the front and also on the back.
Yep.
2 different sapphire crystals, JM signature. JM's name down here, number 1, 0001 out of 1,000, right? 0001 out of 1,000, right there. You get this exact watch. Is it $550?
Yeah, I still can't believe it's selling for that price.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on. I think that was going to probably sell out here. Somebody's probably in process right now. So, you know, just to talk about something, with the last time I did the show in the studio here, the podcast, we had the prototypes. And did you hear about that?
No.
So we had 4 prototypes for the Subaqua Noma 8 and also 1 for the Excursion.
Oh, wow.
And the powers to be brought me off set for a second during the podcast and said they wanted to try something different, and they auctioned it off, and people submitted to me. There's one winner. I'm gonna actually email the others who didn't get it, but yeah, one guy we worked with the offer and he purchased it, and he got 4 prototypes, all 3 so one person has 3 Subaqua Noma 8s already, and 1 Excursion that I showed tonight, the prototype version.
Wow.
Yeah.
How lucky to have those.
What a strength. Way ahead of everything. And then it's a prototype. Like I mean, that's, you know, before any production models out there. That's a cool story.
Well, that's the beauty of, you know, the podcast.
Yeah. Well, that's it.
Exclusivity, right?
Exactly. And here's the thing too. I mean, you know, we're doing these number 1s. You just really can't get them anywhere else unless by chance luck of the draw. But here's the other thing too is you want to see anything else coming from us, give us some ideas, even on the times. Does 8 to 11 Eastern work for you? Or do you want to see a different time or a different day of the week, something like that? We're always up for suggestions. We want to get this whole thing dialed in. You know, the format of the show, what we're going to be presenting, what we're going to be talking about, you know, the watches that are going to be there. I think you've been excellent guests, just like everybody else that's been on the show so far, Eric. And thanks again for being here. So we'll move on. Let's go on to, let's see, I'll find one here. Just give me a second. I'll look and see what else we have.
Do you have any marvels for the...
We do have a couple marvels, yeah. We can do that. We can go to a couple marvels here. I do want to get to, let me do one before we get to marvel. This is different. This watch has just been standing out to me tonight. And it's actually number 42, Renee. So we're going to go to 42. Let me see, this is 35, so I go back here. I'm going to go to 42, and this is just...
that's beautiful.
Isn't this hot?
Actually, I've never seen the watch.
You've never seen this before?
No, never. I mean, I know it's a Bolt.
Yeah.
I think it's a Bolt.
And that's your favorite collection.
And that's my favorite collection. Actually, my first Invicta watch was a titanium JT Bolt.
Really?
Yep. I love that watch. I still have it.
What drew you to that watch?
First, limited edition.
Yeah.
It has the Invicta colors, you know, because it does have yellow.
Yeah.
And just, you know, that exclusivity.
Yeah.
You know, JT limited edition, you know, Invicta colors and titanium.
Okay. I love it. I love it. Well, here it is. And so this is a Bolt. It's from the Bolt collection. I think we came out with this a couple of years ago. And it was a different design of the case, you know, just another series within the Bolt collection. And what we did is we semi-exposed the cable, which I would say is about a 2mm cable, going around 2.5 millimeters. Look at this. We've been able to, we did the cable and we wound 2 different colors of cable together, semi-exposed, going around that fixed stationary bezel design. And then we have a mechanical automatic movement on the inside from Time Module Inc., where you're going to get you get the open heart complication at that 9 o'clock position. There's a top plate that goes over. It gives a little bit of an industrial look. But notice too, we have the green, and also then that on the rehat with the orange that carries through, green over the balance wheel here. That's a part of the design. And the size of the watch is 48 millimeters. Silicone strap that it's going to wrap around. Look at that case, look at that beautiful high polish. And then there is...
I love that two-tone cable with the orange and...
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
It's a two-tone cable. And then, you know what? Oh, crazy. I don't know if I've seen this before. Look at, okay, here's something I just realized with this watch. Notice that, look at the time right now. Here, I'm going to pull this out for just a different effect. Oh, what's the price on this? The price on this is
$219.90.
$219.90, right? Okay, let me see one thing coming up. Okay, I've never seen this before. Look at the second hand. Watch what, do you notice what the second hand is doing? The second hand is going under the hour markers. You see that? Look at right here. It's going under the hour markers. Look at, as I turn the watch off to the side, look at what we've done.
Oh yeah.
So here, I'm move it over here. Watch what happens. See right there? Look at this, Eric, on the top screen. Going under. So the hour markers are actually then coming out from the rehat, the sidewalls there. And not only does the second hand go underneath, but also the minute hand is actually going underneath those hour markers. So you have that exact precision that has been created with this watch. So if I just pull out the crown, and you'll see right here, watch that. You see, you can see it gets a shadow from the hour markers on that hand. How crazy is that? That is really cool. Again, big kudos to our engineering or our design team. So even like something like that, I've never seen that in any Invicta watch before.
Yeah, and I always ask myself this question. I would love to meet Invicta's engineering team.
Mm-hmm.
I would love a tour.
Yeah, exactly.
To see what they have,
it starts
there's amazing designs that they make. How do they come up
right.
with
and it all starts with just sketching and everything. You know, we have those renderings like on the thermos that we have, or the tumbler, you know.
Yep. And then we have a good comment from Thomas. Guys, so far you guys have been doing a fantastic job on every episode. So, we really appreciate that.
Oh, that's cool. Thank you so much. And then Robert says, I remember that watch. Which one were you talking about? The
JT titanium.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So, all right. Some of the other metrics for this watch: 17 millimeters on the overall thickness, about 175 grams overall, and then the movement from TMI on the inside. The caliber is the NH38, and you're getting with this timepiece here too. You're getting the tritnite on the inside, and yeah, the Bolt collection, which is just a standout timepiece, upgraded crystal, being with that flame fusion crystal. Mm-hmm. What do you think of the colors, the green and orange? It's happened to me before. Like, I'm not one who, if you just tell me something, I can visualize some things, but I can't visualize everything. And if someone said, well, we're going to create this Bolt and we're going to make it orange and this green and everything, I'd be like, how about that? But once I see it, I'm like, all right, this is pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, and a lot of times, some colors may not go with a watch, but definitely that type of design, goes with that color. Mm-hmm. So I love that orange and that two-tone cable.
Yeah, I mean, this is cool. And then complete custom strap yet again. I heard here's a cool fact, and this is, I don't know how many years ago. This is at least 5 years ago, if not longer. AL said we had 800 different molds for straps. And that was like at least 5, maybe 6 or 7 years ago. I remember numbers really well. Asked me what I had for breakfast this morning. I have no idea. But I remember numbers really well. And he said we had 800 molds, and I'm sure we have another 200 since then with all of this, this.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And completely customed again, as I mentioned before, everything fits with absolute precision here. I mean, nothing is going wrong with this timepiece. So you're getting into that NH38A, the overall weight, 175 grams. So it's going to be probably about 7 ounces or so, not quite a half pound, but it looks to me too, also a very generous strap. So let's see here. I think this might fit a 9-inch wrist of the strap. I can figure out. Yeah, you could fit a 9-inch wrist because I can get my hand through. That's how I know if it's a 9-inch strap. I can get my hand through it. So, yeah, absolute beauty. Something I've never seen this watch before. I've never presented it. I was just fascinated with those hour markers, how they're just kind of like machined and they're designed and they pop out, and then both the hour and the second hand. Look at that, the second hand.
Yeah,
is just sliding underneath those.
Sliding under.
Beautiful design.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have a question from Marcus. Is this podcast every Tuesday?
As of right now, yes. We're looking at, I think we're going to try to keep it to Tuesdays unless there is some sort of scheduling conflict that we will, we'll move it a day, or maybe for some reason we have to take a week off or whatever. But if you want to know when the podcasts are coming up, follow me on social media, Invicta Ryan, and that's on Facebook and Instagram. I'm more involved in Instagram, but I'll still post things on Facebook, and follow Invicta Watch. Do you have a social media handle that you want the people to follow you, or are you a little bit more private?
No, I use Instagram.
Okay, you're on Instagram?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook, but I use Instagram.
I'll tell you this, like I've been, I've worked on ever since 2012, I started my Instagram page, and I always worked really hard, and there are people out there that will buy followers and buy likes, and there's some things I've seen out there which just cracks me up, is that people have, let's say they have like their Facebook page and they have 100,000 people, and they'll because on the reels you can see like how many views they get, and it shows like, okay, they just had 275 views on a reel, but then they'll have like 1,200 likes. How can you get 1,200 likes if you've only had 275 views, right?
Yeah.
That's like, it doesn't make sense. And like, I'm just like, okay, you guys just bought everything. You're not, but I'm saying I've legitimately worked hard at getting my following to where it is. It's always been organic, never paid a dime. But I noticed you have a huge following on LinkedIn. You have a very big following.
I do.
You do. I looked at you and I'm like, okay, Eric's about 7 times as big as I am on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So, what do you post on things on there, or is it just?
Yeah, I post, regularly, and but basically, I use Instagram a lot, but LinkedIn, I like to always be there to, do like business, read business articles, and all that.
I was really impressed with that. I was like, wow, it's just like very, very cool, man. So yeah, that's great. So
thank you.
Yeah. I was doing a little just research on you too, because I didn't know how long you were with Invicta. I'm like, I can just go and look on LinkedIn. I'm like, holy crap, like wow, big following.
Yeah.
So all right. Well, let's continue on here. Maybe get through a couple more watches, and then we're gonna call it for the night. But yeah, we're gonna continue on Tuesdays, and that's 7, 8 o'clock. We're gonna want to find that sweet spot, what works best for most. We can't accommodate everybody with all the requests, but majority takes the pot, right?
And Tuesday is a good, it's a good smooth day.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. All right, so we're going to move on here. I'm going to put this back in the right slot. So this is number 42. Eric, is there anything that? Oh, you wanted to see some Marvel, didn't you?
Yeah,
Let's look at this. Let's go for a big dog here. And I know,
Black Panther.
Black Panther, number 44.
Ooh, look at that.
All right, let's go for this. So Black Panther. We have a couple other versions. So this is model 43346. 43346. And we're getting into, Grand Octane. And
I love the Grand Octane.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why? Tell me why.
They used to come bigger. in a bigger size. I think it's like a 56 millimeter.
Oh, this one is.
This one is a 56?
This one is 56. Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, this one is 56. Yep,
Seems
going here.
smaller, but yeah.
You're getting more used to it over the years.
Yeah, getting more used to it over the years. It's just the
Right.
size. I love the size, and it's not that, although it's big, but it's not too tall. It's kind of like, yes, it's a smooth.
The profile is 19 millimeters. So for the size of the case, it's actually relatively thinner, like in that ratio. And look at this. What I like about this watch, I see it too, is right here. If you look at Black Panther, it's not only raised, I think there's like a slight iridescent border that goes around, because when it hits the light just perfectly, like you can just see how it electrifies Black Panther on the inside. And so this is part of Marvel, and it's a ship that we had, we don't have anymore. So makes that watch even that much more impressive. $329.09. This is a numbered limited edition, all the way up to 3,000. This is not the number one, so you don't know what number you'll get. I love the case back on this. Check this out. Get the medallion case back. And out of 3,000. Oh, this might be a sample model right here that we pulled from here without the without the number there. Yeah. So that's a sample model here for this one. And so what you get, yeah. Now look at this too. We have crystals going around the big different stations here on the timepiece. See the Black Panther logo on the inside, raised up the movement of this timepiece. Now you're getting into quartz chronograph, and it's a Ronda Z60 Swiss-made movement. I don't know if it says Swiss movement on the timepiece. I don't see it at all. But look at the detail just going around the outer chapter ring. I think that is representative of Black Panther's necklace, along with the hour markers that are a part of the design. More of a busy dial, but I'll tell you, collectors out there, this is the number one character out of everything that we did. I believe in the whole Marvel, and I don't know if there's even more, even in the whole that Disney franchise, like with Star Wars and everything too. Black Panther was right there. I mean, I think it was number one. So even though Spider-Man is a number one franchise over time, but I think Black Panther. Oh, look at this too. Look at this finishing art that goes around here for the links. So it's almost like a stone polished black, and then you have that deep, rich purple for the center links here. There's a little bit of plastic on too, but that's fine. These are just, this one's actually I think it's a sample model. So.
Yeah, I was pretty excited when I saw it before the show. I'm like, it's going well.
Look at that iridescent. That's what gets me right there. That, it gets just lighting up or electrified. It's just get plugged in. And look at the crystals too. Crystals are just lighting up off the wrist. So I've noticed with a lot of the Invicta collectors, there's big Black Panther. I think someone was wearing on the cruise a Black Panther shirt or two, or a couple more in the Black Panthers. So yeah, I mean, big deal. So $329.90. So you'll get in a Black Panther here tonight. I mean, yeah, love that case back. We could do that on more of the watches, just with whatever it happens to be. If it was the Invicta Ryan collection or the Eric collection. Tell me this: if you could design a watch, what would you do? Or do you have an idea of anything, or?
I'll have to think that one.
Yeah. All right. So here I have two ideas. I'll just say it, and I'll send an email off to AL tomorrow. But I'll just say it, and you can be my witness. I'll just say it. So I have two ideas. I would like to do like a Man of War, and let me just find it. So a Man of War, and because I'd like all black, jet black, all high polish. So it's just like black high polish, and then right here, if we could do this, and I don't know, we got to probably look at the pricing, but I'd like to do something like along the lines of like fire opal for the dial. So like something like this for a dial on the inside in all black. So something along that, or maybe labradorite or something like that. But so I'd like to do, have that idea. Or what about this? I suggested this, or I talked to a couple people about this, but what if I had people send in their signatures to me, and then we take the signatures and we create like the image for the hydroplating and do a watch, like maybe like a Hydromax, and do the hydroplating with customer signatures on it, and every watch is going to be unique. So you don't know if it's going to be your signature on the watch or my signature or others out there that have it. And that would be just something I think really cool with the collectors. I don't know.
That would be really cool. And I do believe, I mean, having your own watch, it was so good.
I mean, how cool would that be if you got your own watch, or if you got a watch with someone you knew? And you'd be like, hey, I got this one. Do you want, I'll trade you or whatever. I see your signature on it, but you'd never know because you never, like with the graffiti watches, they're never the same. You don't know what image you're going to get where on the watch, or it's not going to be a part of the watch.
Yep.
Yeah. That's those are a couple ideas I have.
Okay.
I gotta submit to AL here, but yeah, I've thought about that graffiti design for like about 2 or 3 years. I have to just send it to him. So, all right. Well, we have Black Panther. We'll move on, and let's just do this. We did one from. Let's just do this real quick. So we have one from DC. Should we just do DC Comics? We'll do number 43, just with Superman, because I think this is pretty cool. So we're gonna do Superman, and I think it's the same price. Let me just double check. It should be, this one, Superman's $339, so it's just $10 more to get into the Superman version here. This is model 43344, and I think, okay, yeah, we're getting into the movements on the inside. It is this one, actually. We're getting 43344. 43344. Yeah. Okay.
I've always been in love with the Invicta blue.
With the Invicta blue?
Yeah, that blue that they put on the watches. Super nice.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. You'll see this watch coming from a mile away, right? I mean, oversized Superman logo that you'll find on it. Swiss-made Ronda Z60 is what you have. And actually, that dial, you'll see, is that dial? I'm just trying to figure out that dial. Is that like what is the texture of the dial on there representing? Man of Steel. I think it's probably like a steel. I think it's more like that look of the steel, more of a raw steel dial, I believe, is what we have here for this. So it is at Grand Octane, 56 millimeters, 200 meters of water resistance. And it's part of that franchise that we're not going to have anymore going forward. And look at this, blue, yellow, and red colors of Superman.
Yeah.
That he would have when he would change from Clark Kent, the phone booth, to Superman and go and save the day. So pretty cool stuff. This is a number limited edition, and this is $339.90, right? Number limited edition,
$339.90,
all the way up to $400 for this timepiece here. We'll look at the case back. So you have the DC that's a part of the case back for this watch. Number limited edition, all the way up to $4,000. And now this isn't the number one by any means. This is we just have a few of these that are still available to be able to get into this amazing design. It was a really fun partnership to be able to have and learn about the characters if you didn't know about it and such. And yeah, I mean, this is a big deal here for a big timepiece. And when we came out with this design, I think it was 2009. We came out with the Sea Hunter. And also what was originally called the Arsenal. And we changed the name to Grand Octane. These were the two biggest watches we had at the time. This is 56 and the Sea Hunter 58 millimeters.
Yeah, actually Robert Vega taught me a lot about the collections.
Oh, he did, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, because he was already working a little bit.
He used to work with me in Miami. I used to call face, and he always used to say, no, that's not a face, that's a dial.
Dial, yep. That's right. Yep. Yeah. People call it face dials. I mean, we've just always said dials in a sense, but yeah, I mean, it's, as you can see, it's a big dial face here. So now if somebody says face, do you correct them now too, or no?
I do. Actually, I do. Especially, I mean, not so much the customers, because but the employees or in trainings.
Yeah.
I try to make sure that they can speak the watch language.
Sure.
That's what we want to make sure that we do in the stores.
Look at that logo raised up. And then what I've always been fascinated with this watch is the bracelet. I mean, look at this. Watch how this bracelet.
Yeah. That bracelet.
How cool is that? Amazing timepiece. Big watch. This watch is nearing a pound. It's 398 grams, about 400 grams. 454 grams equals a pound. And you know that?
No.
I said I was a numbers guy, so remember that. But yeah, I think it's 454 equals a pound. So we're a little bit shy of a pound on this, but bigger, heavier watch, most definitely. We have about 2 minutes or 10 minutes left here in the show. I'll just talk really quick about the cruise because I was on the cruise here with the about 100 Invicta collectors.
Wow.
And it was just another amazing experience. We went down to Amber Cove and then Puerto Rico and St. Thomas, and the whole crew that put together the East Coast Collaborative, the whole crew that put the cruise together, excuse me, hats off to them. I mean, I know they put in a lot of time, a lot of dedication, invested their own money too in some things, and to be able to just make this thing happen. And I just want to thank each and every one of them for everything that they did to create such a special time for us. They had these themes like you had your sneakers and your favorite sports team night, and you had the graffiti, yellow, everything else. And there are actually a couple watch battles. Have you ever seen a watch battle before?
No.
So do you know what it is, or?
No.
So a watch battle is when you pick out some select watches.
Mm-hmm.
And so like you and I would be sitting at different at the table, and I don't know what watches you have, you don't know what I have. And you usually show 5, you alternate,
mm-hmm.
and you have to tell the story that goes along with the watch and what the watch actually is. You kind of like, in a sense, sell it both for what it is and if there's a story that goes behind it to the
mm-hmm.
crowd. And there are a couple judges. I was a judge for the different watch battles, and you have to pick between one or the other, and then whoever wins the most rounds, and you collaborate with the other judges, then they win. And there are a couple of these watch battles on the cruise, and Travis was hosting it. He's a great MC, and give him a follow, Trap Vision 3D on social media. And he was the MC for these, and he was awesome. And there was the first battle, and then the second battle is something that had never been done. It was 2 collectors that had their collection against 1 collector. And so Felix and Kevin took on Victor. And Victor pulled it off with his 1 collection. They all had amazing watches. Felix picked one of the watches he had was the one he picked up at the store,
mm-hmm.
with all the diamonds and the S1 racer.
Yeah, I remember.
And he, it was, it was tight. It was good, but Victor actually pulled it off against 2 of them. He had one of the NASA watches.
Yeah.
He had a Sapphire Ghost, and he had a really cool story with that went along with, he said a guy was up hard times, and he said, "You want to buy my watch?" It was a Sapphire Ghost. And he's like, "Sure, well, what do you want for it?" And he said, $60. And he's like, "Well, how can I refuse that?" And then he gave him $60. He gave him another 100. The guy was, falling on some hard times. But then he said back to this guy, he's like, "Hey, if you ever get back on your feet and everything, and just give me that $100 back, and the watch is yours. It's not going to go anywhere." It was like a really cool, that's a cool story, And that's the whole thing. Is like I just get reminded every single time I go out there on these cruises that these collectors are just amazing people.
Yeah.
They're so kind, they're so nice, they're so authentic, so generous.
Oh, and I really appreciate also them, stopping by the stores.
Yeah.
Sawgrass, Old San Juan, Bayside.
It did. I did some stop by Bayside.
Yeah.
Okay.
A few of them.
I know it was a little harder because people are getting off the ship and going to the airport, but I did put out that on the group chat. So I was hoping
a few of them, stop by. So definitely, thank you guys. You guys make our brand.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so I mean, it's just that's it's really the biggest thing is being able to meet the collectors out there and interact with them. I've always said
Hmm.
that's like one of the top things of, or really the favorite thing of the job is to be able to interact because everybody is just so cool, so kind, and we all have this common interest, and to be able to just be with these collectors and become friends. And
Yep.
actually, I had I don't know if you knew this, back in March. I had back at my place in Minnesota, I had actually invited 4 collectors. They stayed with me for 3 nights at my place, and they each had, well, we all had, they were hanging out with Noma, the dog, and we just hung out, had some fun, had a few drinks and a ton of laughs. We talked about watches, about 10% of the time. And then we were just laughing and having fun the rest of the time, and just like, old buddies and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So it was really cool.
Feels good.
And that's like, and I get to know more and more every, people, every cruise or every get together. I get to know some more people, better. I got to know Victor, who was on this last cruise, who won that watch battle, and Anthony out of
Hmm.
New York. I got to meet him and his wife and hang out with them quite a bit. And it's just every time, every opportunity is just absolutely amazing.
That's good.
So I don't know of another company that has collectors or customers that are like basically turned into such good friends and really almost like family too.
Yeah, no, me either. I haven't seen any other company that
Hmm.
has that type of
Yeah.
bond.
Yeah. And you join the Facebook groups out there with, everything. I know there's a new one in Arizona. I think it's 602 that's going to be starting up. People are looking to do some cruises coming down the road in 2027.
Hmm.
And there's also events. There's an all women's event coming up next year in Myrtle Beach, California, with Anthony Walker. I mean, there's always things happening out there and get-togethers. And I know you guys are doing more of those get-togethers at the stores also. And
Hmm.
I think it's a good thing.
Yep.
You know. All right, my friend. Well, we have 5 minutes left. Should we do one more watch? Is there one that you saw earlier that we should really
I
get
actually
to? Or
saw one. It's
yeah,
a reserve with a square dial.
let's see. Reserve with a square dial.
Yeah.
Give me a minute here.
Oh no, it's not
Not
there.
there.
Yeah. You really cut those.
Not this.
Yeah.
This one. Oh, the Vortiz.
Yeah.
Have
I actually saw them in different colors, so I'm like,
Okay.
it'll be a good wrap up.
All right. I like that. So we're gonna go with 31.1, Renee. 31.2 and 33 point, or 31. Oh, I did that. I numbered them wrong. Nah, it's all right. I think we know. Did he find it? Let me double check, Renee. We'll do a real quick on this and then we'll call it. But let me just double check.
Beautiful.
31,
That one.
31, 1, 32, 2, and 33, 3. I
Yeah.
numbered a little inconsistently, but okay, we'll start off with 31, 1. So yeah, these are reserve models, and this is $279. And so, have you had these in the stores before?
We have had them.
Oh, you have?
before.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they just vaporize, like when people.
They just vaporize.
Okay. So this is.
It's like an instant. You see them, you buy it.
All right. Yeah. Well, here's the thing with this watch is it's a unique to know shape case. It's a little bit more kind of edgy in a
Mhm.
sense. And you get this curved crystal like a Lupa in a sense. Beautiful mother of pearl dial on this version that's purple. This particular variation is a purple label. I think it's limited edition also. It's not a numbered limited edition. I think it's just a limited edition, which means it's a smaller production one. I can't quite tell. Or is there a number? But this might be another production sample. Oh, I don't think you're getting this one, but you'll get one of the other variations. But here's the cool thing about this watch is you see it's on a bracelet. It's polyurethane, and it's also the stainless steel. You have the gold, 18 karat gold plated for the pins. But look at this. You just press these buttons and then boom, the bracelet comes out.
Yep.
And then you know what you do? You take the genuine calf leather strap and you do the tail end. I call this the tail end and the buckle end. You put it, then there's actually a little channel system, and everything, you start from the bottom right here. And let me just, I might have to do it the other way. And it should just glide right in, right there. Oops, I missed it. But you just glide right in. There we go. It's all locked in now. So then you have genuine calf leather strap here. You can just drop this out again, right up here. Press those two buttons.
Yeah,
You
two
take
watches in one.
Top strap. Yep, you get two different looks and two different feels, all with that one design. I think this is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I love how it looks on that leather strap.
Yeah, I mean, check that out. So this is model 40957. We're going to go to two other color choices. So we're going to stop right there real quick. We're going to go to the green next, which is 32.2. So it's more of a teal green. We'll just show you the color. There's the teal green, and you're getting the color coordinated strap, and also the buckle is going to match up with that green for this watch. You still get into the same movement on the inside, still part of the Reserve collection. This is the, Ronda Z60 for the movement on the inside. What's your color choice, Eric?
My color choice is the green one.
The green one?
Yeah.
Right. And then we have one more classic in terms of color. And this is going to be the gold tone version. And this is number 33.3 or 40960. So you get into one of the three. This is the most common or classic color combination. Purple and green, definitely unique. So I don't see these too often myself. So it'd be great to be able to see.
When I saw them at the beginning of the show, when I was looking at the watches, I'm like, wow. We have to show them.
All right. Well, we saved some of the best for last right here.
The best for last. Good closing.
All right. Well, we have about a minute left, so we're going to sign off here in a few minutes. I'd just like to say thanks to Jaime, who's been working the cameras here tonight, to just these great close-up shots of back. So I've seen, he is just learning and everything. He's doing awesome on it. And then Renee is really sitting behind everything, running the whole show. Greg was here a little bit earlier too with everything with the logistics, and we'll go back to camera one real quick as we sign off. And it's been amazing to be able to have you here, Eric. Appreciate you so much. We're gonna have lunch. That's a guarantee here coming up soon too, because if you didn't see it earlier, we bet a nice lunch on who's gonna win the upcoming fight. Is it Saturday night?
It's Friday actually.
Oh, it's Friday.
Yeah, it's Friday.
Oh,
Friday the 15th.
What time does it start?
I believe it starts like around 8.
Around 8. Yeah. Well, yeah, it'll be on. Hopefully, the fight will be over. Tyson will win before I jump on for JTV that night. So, yeah. Well, we'll see. Well, I'll see you definitely soon. And give me a follow on Instagram, Facebook, X, all Invicta Ryan. Be posting watches, and also be posting some of the watches coming up here. And remember, Kendi and I are launching the Subaqua Noma 8. Everybody's been waiting for that. And the Excursion that the collectors on the ship were absolutely drooling over. That's coming up here this Friday, November 15th at 10 p.m. Eastern on JTV. Kendi's actually flying down here. So we'll be down here in the Hub studio, and it's going to be an awesome 4 hours of Invicta watches. All right, thanks, my friend. Appreciate you being here. We'd love to have you back again sometime. So
thank you.
All right, thank you, everybody. We're going to sign off. So we'll catch you guys later on, and thanks for tuning in here tonight. Take care.